Late Night Grin. Also, what does that name mean?
After what's that sound? There's a horrible sound. You hear the sound? Is that
That's probably me laughing.
It stopped now. Was it the voices in my head?
Probably.
They changed venues on a Tuesday night. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Is the Late Night Grin. We just completed extensive negotiations because the confirmed shoot hasn't made two towns for the Late Night Grin in, what we're looking at, a decade now? Right?
I just did it a couple weeks ago. We just did.
Did you really?
Thing. Yeah, we did this. Oh no, I didn't because it was a Fed show.
You didn't get.
I was on the show though.
You tried to get
Yeah.
So we're here, the flagship, the core four back together. I'm talking about Machine Gun. I'm talking about Fergal. I'm talking about Tama, and of course Bad Luck Fale. We're here to do professional wrestling talk, but with a twist, right?
Yeah.
Because tonight we have two attractions. Oracle and I are just having fun here, really, because the two lead attractions for tonight's program, the confirmed shoot fights back with a PowerPoint presentation responding to the PWI 500, while Bob O'Neill finally does the unthinkable. He opens up a tell-all, rare solo Q&A. Ask Bob anything. Still get those questions in, folks. This is a crazy, crazy night. Oracle, again, we're just on the sidelines here. How are you feeling tonight, brother?
I'm good. I got to make sure that I get up tomorrow to watch the South Carolina Gamecocks play at noon, and also try to catch some game day since it's in Columbia, South Carolina, which will surely be the only time that it occurs this year. But
Don Staley, guess.
Yeah, yes.
People thought it'd be Trick Williams.
Yeah.
He's the NXT guy.
Don Staley. I mean, you got to have somebody Nick Saban respects out there,
Yeah.
You can't have too many Sheamuses, out there. Making
phony wrestlers.
Yeah,
phonies. Yeah. I like it. Okay, glad to hear it. Confirm shoot. I know you're very fired up for this one. We haven't spoken in a while. How you feeling?
I'm doing good, Joe. That's your name, right, Joe?
That's it, mate. Yep.
That pause was legitimate because I almost said Bob, which would have been really funny. But yeah, I'm doing good. Got the banner background sorted out. As you can see, the banner at the bottom no longer collides with our logo. Collide, yes.
Oh yeah, you got that up. Yeah,
Very important. Very important.
You see the blue there, yeah.
It's branding. It's branding.
Yep.
It's why our channel's grown so much, which is also why I'll have an executive producer credit at the end of the show from now on.
What the fuck?
That was a motorcycle driving by my house outside. That's how good this microphone that Jackie Crosby recommended to me.
I thought somebody's theme music was hitting. I thought everybody could have fucking
the Judgment Day were coming in.
Oh, whatever the hell that start of their song.
So you're good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm realizing that I didn't do any preparation in terms of how this PowerPoint presentation is going to look on the program. So that could be very funny.
You should be fine. I think it'll work with the share.
I hope so. I'm going to add it
otherwise, right now. False advertising otherwise, right? All right. While you do that, Rob O'Neill, you're the star of this program, of course. It's in the title. Hashtag Ask Bob Anything.
Wait, what is this slides thing?
Years for this opportunity. How are you feeling, Bobby?
I'm doing well. It's nice to be back, kind of getting back to our roots here. I don't think we're going to go 4 hours tonight, so that's a relief. But
Can't rule it out.
I can.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to answering some questions, which I'm sure will be tasteful and appropriate, and yeah, be a good time.
He's not wrong.
I love Bobby's, just matter of fact delivery.
Oh yeah,
There's no
absolutely.
Didn't have my font.
Absolutely right. I'm seeing this PowerPoint emerge in the backstage area of the StreamYard, and
I realized I may have just spoiled the punchline for you if you were paying attention.
That's fine. Oh, well. I wasn't paying attention. I'm on a lot of drugs. I'm not really. That's a joke. All right. I ought to be, but nonetheless. I want to start with a bit of a throwback question. Because we're going to do some wrestling talk on this show. But I was the hashtag, huh?
Do we have to do that?
Oracle and I think, need 4 minutes or so to talk about Solo.
Oh, yeah.
So I was looking at the hashtag Ask Bob Anything. He has a thumb.
He's actually in my PowerPoint presentation, Joe.
I'm sure he is, and I'm sure you're very, very positive towards him. Hashtag Ask Bob Anything. I was going through the old tweets because obviously anyone who's ever tweeted hashtag Ask Bob Anything was looking to get in contact with Bob, but they obviously the late night Grin didn't exist. So I want to read this one from July 23rd, 2014. This is from Libby, who says, and I quote, "Why only 39 seconds? Hashtag Ask Bob Anything."
That was the thing. I was supposed to do that.
When?
I got DM'd that and got told to ask it on the show tonight.
Well, brother, I'm working on the fly here. I've got people to get entertained. You can't just be doing these things willy-nilly.
I mean, I said it on the show we were both on about a half hour ago, but
you said I have a question to ask.
I feel like I'm in the band Oasis with Liam and
Oracle. You're hearing this shit, right? So we're trying.
You stole my high spot, man.
I'm telling stories, bro. I'm the host.
Did Lambo send that to you as well?
No, I have the hashtag in front of me. I only just discovered it. This is why we don't do this anymore. This is why we need the young guys.
Hold on. Can I answer the super chat that we did, or the question we just had here?
Mm-hmm.
Is it about wrestling again?
Yeah, it's on. I have some things I have to say about this.
Okay, can I just read the question?
Yeah.
Babs fan asks, "What is LNG's opinion on the all-out cage match?"
I gotta say, I've never been more offended in my life as a person.
I thought you were. I noticed
when they went out there and did just unprecedented violence and brutality, not for anyone's eyes, really. I mean, it was terribly offensive.
Yeah.
As a
citizen,
as a human being, I think it's really just a terrible thing. And I hope they never do anything like that again. And that's why they're number 2, because of stuff like that.
That's bang on. That's what I said. Yeah, minor league.
Terrible.
You know what annoyed me, Oracle? The last time they wrestled on pay-per-view, one of the guys drank the other's blood. So obviously, I thought this time they were going to do headlock takeovers, and sort of.
I mean, I think we're better off when guys just take, German suplexes and stuff on their head and stuff like that. I mean, that's way safer than this violence we see. I mean, look at greats like Takayama and Hayabusa. I mean, they Misawa. They all had great careers with the style that they wrestled. But it's important to just note how terrible that violence is, and
you're right. You're right. One of those things is the industry regressing. Head drops and neck bumps is actually the evolution of the sport.
Yeah,
it's a well-known fact.
Honest answer, the match was great.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah,
I really liked it. I think it was as good as the Texas Death Match, but I thought it did a very good job of separating itself and being different to the Texas Death
Mhm.
Match. You know,
Yeah, it was. We were talking about when we were watching the show live how like, it was a lot more of a blunt kind of like there.
Yeah.
There was a bluntness to the violence. It was a lot
Mhm.
less. It was a lot less gory. In my opinion, it was much more like, what I can't remember the word I used. Contusive was the word I used. Like with like all the bumps and bruises that like Heyman had on his back and shit. Of course, he had some cuts, but like there was like the spots were a lot more just like
It was less frills and more just like
correct.
violence.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like brute
Which allowed
violence.
it to be different.
Yeah.
I do think it has some issues. Like I definitely think its pacing is a little bit of a weakness.
Mhm.
And the length is a part of that, but I do think it came out very, very strong and a very strong close to a very strong pay-per-view, to be fair. So, yeah, I liked the match. Bobby, did you see the match?
I did. I enjoyed it. I did not like it as much as their Texas Death Match either, but like, I think it wasn't for everyone, but I think some of the stuff they did to kind of escalate from the last match and, Hangman burning Swerve's house down earlier in the week was justified, in the context of the story. Yeah, I liked it.
Confirm shoot. Anything to add, mate?
3.5.
Big star rating guy.
Yeah.
You really like the match, though, right? Seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I went outside and reflected on life right afterwards. Fucking ruled, man. Like, honestly, I think my favorite reaction to it, outside of the petitions and Oracle signed and, that stuff, was the next day when there was the collection of people who decided that the match wasn't violent enough and we were all pussies for reacting the way we did. That fucking ruled. Yeah, I enjoyed the match. In all seriousness, doing that type of match just for the hell of it, I hate. And that's a real thing that happens now, but doing that kind of match at the end of a big feud where you got a story behind it, I can get into it.
Mm-hmm.
A deathmatch wrestling show. And I'm not even I'm just saying for me, that's not for me. But in this context, as a one-off, or as something that you do sporadically, I can get into it. I can't watch a whole show of it. I can't watch it where I don't even know who the fellas are. I can't get into it then. But I enjoyed the match very much. Yes.
One question though, if you're thinking about it, you think about that match and say Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard. Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard would be like 3.5 stars today, right? Compared to
Cool.
That would.
Poor Dave's getting hit left and right. This is like 83 weeks now. What are we doing here? It was a very bad tweet. We love Dave, but yeah, strange tweet. You get what you get. We'd also like to extend our apologies to the families of Hayabusa, Takayama, and Masawa for Oracle's stray bullets there. His intentions were pure. He's suggesting guys should probably be a little. Well, I think he's even suggesting. I think he's just kind of saying, this. I guess the point.
Well, let's be honest. How cool was that with Takayama and Suzuki week back?
That was unbelievable. The point that you're getting at, without putting words in your mouth, because we discussed this privately, was chair shots to the head are bad, correct?
Yeah, of course.
But there is a strange thing that's happened where, for your health, I mean.
Right.
There's a strange thing that's happened where they are like this sort of isolated topic of danger in wrestling. And it's just, to me, it's stunning when so much of the style is becoming increasingly dangerous by nature. And I'm not here to police either because they're grown men.
Yeah.
But the reason Oracle used the example to use was on Saturday, Will Ospreay took a bump on the apron that legitimately, like his neck whiplashed and went inward.
Yeah. It was insane.
And it was
obviously,
crazy.
I feel like I should say this because it was all satire there. I feel like Takayama and Misawa, but
yeah, the reason I do think it is an interesting topic in that like it feels like there's so much focus on chair shots. And I'm not saying that focus is misplaced. If you're gonna talk about the safety of the industry, I feel like there's more places to look here. If you want to do that, we've never really done that, right? But if you want to do it, like, okay,
let's talk about the chair shot.
They cut away from it on
loosened
pay-per-view.
that
I paid $55 to see that shit, and they cut away from it.
They loosened that chair up so much that they had to do all those cuts because they were worried about how it would look. What happened to the game I love, man?
It pissed me off too, bud.
The cut. I kind of liked it from like it kind of gave it a movie vibe, you know. That's the
They
only
had
thing
to do
popular
it.
about it.
They had to do it because they didn't know
Yeah.
how that thing was. Because look,
Well, the hinges were off of the some bitch, right?
yeah. I want to removing the sarcasm. That shit still fucking hurts. Like we're not.
It's not good for your brain, yeah.
Right, but like it did very much. Like there was a chance that chair shot was going to look very stupid because it was so.
Yeah. But the point of this is, everyone is, and this is actually seriously, because I know we sometimes do that asshole thing of like, we don't give a shit, you know, we watch old wrestling. If you're squeamish about stuff in wrestling, like you're more than entitled to be.
Mhm.
Not everyone's gonna like everything.
Oh,
listen,
like,
yeah.
I love battle arts and shit, and like
Exactly,
I mean,
we're
you know,
lunatics.
but I
Yeah,
mean,
we're not
just
well.
ask Nigel McGuinness and Bryan Danielson how it is to, run each other like like they're fucking Rams or something.
We're not well.
I hope they do that
So-
again in a couple weeks.
I don't actually, to be honest. On that case, I would rather they not. But everyone is entitled to feel however they want. I guess the point is just, I do find the infatuation with just this one piece of violence in wrestling to be slightly strange. That's all I'm saying. Especially
Actually, yeah,
considering it's traced to a guy who did like a diving headbutt in every match. But nonetheless, I digress.
Violence has no place in wrestling, Joe.
Violence is forever, actually. Watch a heat segment sometime. All right.
I need to apologize to Libby, who waited 10 years for Bob to answer her question.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Yeah. You absolutely do. Good call. Bob, what's your answer anyway?
What was even the question? You guys were yelling over each other.
Oh, sorry, tough guy. Jesus. God forbid people talk on this program. Why only 39 seconds was the question.
You know, sometimes it happens. Ask Shannon Sharp.
Good deal. I just saw it. I went on YouTube to check our members to update the banner, and I saw the suggestion video was Stephen A reacts to Shannon Sharp's Instagram live, and it was just thumbnail of him like doing a face, and I yelled, dude, that's so funny.
Nicki Minaj's tweet was fucking incredible, and then she just left it up.
I didn't see that.
She tweeted at Stephen. She was mad at Stephen A, I think. But she was under the impression that the video thing was Stephen A and not Shannon. And then she just left it. She just added a reply to it that says like, "Oh, that's not," and that was it. Like she just left the tweet up.
That's good. That's good posting in anyone's book.
Can I be honest for a second? When I realized that week 1 had finished in the NFL, and I could go to Skip Bayless's tweets and read them, I absolutely immediately did it. And he spent like 2 hours analyzing Tom Brady's performance.
Of course he did.
He's doing this like I'm finally unleashed bit, which is very alarming. Because like Skip's obviously like, lame and gross in many ways. But I'm very fearful he's gonna go like, and I woke. And it's just like, come on, bro, like leave some things, like because that's generally not been, for all of his faults, that's generally been an area that he's not been embarrassed.
Also, like doing that now is like it's 2024. People do that for 8 years.
Yeah.
Like that's like, come on.
It was like when fucking Seinfeld did that a few months back. He did the cancel culture. Like good God, man, who's next?
Well, like I said, it's a lame play at this point. Find something
it's
else
so boring.
to be a
yeah,
anti-establishment or whatever. Do something else interesting.
Anyway. Boss boy JD Drake says, ask Bob anything. Come on, man. I was doing Bob a solid there.
There's no reason to throw JD Drake under the bus like that and make it sound like he's the one who asked that question.
You're right. You know what? I saw it, JD Drake. JD McDonough. There you go. We were happy
now.
That
works, yeah.
Are they eating the dogs? Good question.
I'm not the one spreading it, man. It's you guys.
Have you seen it on the TV?
I have not seen it on the TV, no.
Springfield's only like an hour from my house. I should go there and do like an investigative report for the late night Grin.
Well,
Hey.
Margaret Thatcher.
We'd probably get a ton of views and buys for that. Go ahead and do it.
Robert, will you be with me cheering on the FTR versus those dastardly grizzled young veterans?
No, football done, and you're dead.
That's a pretty for Maggie. That's like I thought that was going to be a lot worse, to be honest.
You know,
Chi-Town Spurs.
Why do I have a fear that match is going to be like a flat 3 stars?
It's definitely going to be very long. We'll see how it turns. I have faith in the lads, the FTR. I'm not a big fan of the other fellas, but we'll see. They've had good matches with far worse than the grizzled young veterans.
True.
Chi-Town Spurs says they cut away because it would be unbearable showing the program. That was in quotes. And also follows up, I was there. It looked absolutely horrifying in person. I'm sure it did because they took the hinges off, so it just snapped over the dude's head.
Mm-hmm.
Again, definitely didn't feel good. But it was in the same match. He took a powerbomb on a cinder block. So
that shit was crazy.
That was the craziest spot of the whole match.
That was the one that I circled as that was foolish because it's it weren't even the finish or anything. And the craziest part of it, and this is where I wish someone would just go, you can do it, but can we just switch? They followed out with a powerbomb off the top. So they immediately tried to it wasn't even a big powerbomb spot.
Bomb after that. Yeah.
They're nuts, dude. Those guys are crazy. It was the fact we're talking about the match. I honestly am a believer in this, and I know you guys feel the same way. The way we're talking about the match and the way that the match calls conversation, that's what you want art to do sometimes, right? That's cool, man. And also, quickly, before we move on, because we didn't move on, not every match and every wrestling company and every wrestling show needs to appeal to every single person on earth and tick every single box as this sort of welcoming variety show. Some stuff can just not be for you. Some stuff isn't for me. A whole lot of it, to be honest with you. I hate that. In wrestling, there is this strange, and I think it's kind of just where media is trending. Everything has to be you have to be there's something for everyone on this program. We're going to have the comedy here. Some stuff can just be violent, right? We've been fine with that being the case in movies, but just don't go to that movie. I don't think they fooled anyone on Saturday night in Chicago. If you bought that show, you were pretty aware they were going to get really violent. Let's be real. Seriously. It was a cage match that was an unsanctioned lights out match.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I digress. Should we do some questions?
You got very angry there, Joe.
I did because I don't like wrestling is this idea that every promotion has to try and appeal to the entire fan base of wrestling fans.
Yeah, it fucking sucks.
It sucks. And what it does is it causes the lesser promotions, the second tier, the third tier, they also do variety.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah.
You're not going to do variety as well as AEW or WWE, so why don't you actually pick a lane? Remember that back in the olden days when promotions would have identities and be distinct?
Yeah, it's been 30 years.
Are you saying it used to be better?
Though, man. Gabe Sapolsky was Gabe Sapolsky.
Well, 20.
If there's if you say one thing about Gabe Sapolsky, he had a vision for what his promotions were supposed to be. Sometimes those visions were painfully boring. Other times they popped me. Shout out to LeBoom. But we need promoters to pick a lane, guys. Seriously. All right, see how fired up I am? This is audio.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a radio broadcast here on the Late Night Grin. Anyway, we're taking your calls up next, folks. We'll see you after this.
Bill Holbert unleashed.
Yeah. I think I'm making some sense. I don't know. Right, before we get into these questions, Bob, what should people do if they're watching this program?
Yes, smash that like button.
Spot on. Absolutely spot
on. Thumbs up.
Okay. First question.
Mm-hmm.
Riley. Bob, do you know the Muffin Man?
I do. Lives on Drury Lane.
Good start. Shut Spurs. Have you seen What About Bob? And what are your thoughts about What About Bob?
It's a good movie. Bill Murray's very good in it. I'm a big Bill Murray fan. I don't know if it's in the top 5 Bill Murray movies, but it's a good movie. He's got a really deep filmography,
Did we name an episode of The Grim? What About Bob?
I'm pretty sure we did, yeah.
We did, yeah.
All right. Lord Lambo. Hey, Bob, who would win in a professional wrestling match? The Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, or Big Bronson Reed? That's a dream match, quite frankly.
It is a dream match. I think Big Bronson Reed would actually have the advantage on him. You know, he's big, and just if I had to guess, if it has happened before, I would say Bronson Reed has won.
It definitely hasn't happened before.
No
Why
way,
would that match happen?
That's true. That's true. They're in different
Who
companies.
would book Bronson Reed in Japan, dude? That'd be outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we'll stop there for a minute. Let everyone catch their breath. Oracle.
Yes, sir.
How long have I waited for the validation I got tonight about the Fun Merchant? I've been trying desperately. I've been hanging on. Just fighting desperately. Eva has been the center of just attacks when it comes to Solo Sikoa.
Do you see how he took that crossbody off the cage?
And he killed him. He had a whiplash. He definitely was. I hope he's okay because he looked like his head hit the mat really hard, man.
Bad. I thought Cody, the way Cody folded himself up on the superplex, I thought for sure he was going to separate from Solo in midair.
I just thought, and so something very funny happened tonight. I don't know. I think Oracle might be aware of it. I hope he is. So I text Eva. I said, "Bro, it's great. I'm telling you, this match is great." And I said, "Oracle declared that it's outstanding." Right? Did you see his tweet?
I saw his tweet. Yeah.
So then
I said, "Wait a minute now."
So then this is the.
He put it in quotes. I said, "Hold on." I literally read it and I was like, "Wait a minute. Was he?"
I'm almost in tears, bro. He retweeted. Someone has told me that this match was, quote, outstanding. Like it was Michael Hayes or someone from Gorilla. And all the replies were like,
on my fucking couch eating Weigel's pizza.
Yeah, and all the replies were like, outstanding's a little much. Anyway,
I've just realized that I saw that tweet, and I'm just now realizing that I didn't know that was about Oracle. God bless.
Honestly, I was in tears, bro. He's in the chat, but it was the way that like people were reading it like it had come from like a scoop. Like, bro, we just had a killer match here at SmackDown, and it was just Oracle DMing me. But it was genuine. I legitimately thought it was great. Like I actually thought it was
great, man. It was one of the better. It was up there as like the best WWE TV match of the year. Legitimately up there.
The crowd.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness! And Solo finally did some offense and like did some stuff, and it was just delightful.
What do you think of the whether it's hard way or blading, whatever? What do you think of like the one poke blading they do, if it's blading or the...
Yeah, this definitely looked like blading to me.
Yeah, it's like one poke, Paul's back there going, all right, no, don't run the razor, you can't do that.
The one thing he was good at.
Yeah. One poke, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Initially, it looked good, and then it like dried up immediately. And
yeah,
it was like,
well, that's what happens when you do the one poke.
It had.
You don't twist. You just poke once.
It had a very distinct WWF feel, and the only thing that could have made it better, two things could have made it better: Jesse on color, and the big blue cage. That's the only way we could have put this over. If we had the big blue cage for this deal, I'm talking, 5.25.
Yeah, full five.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But it was a hoop, Bobby. Did you get to see it?
I did. I loved it. It was a lot better than their match at SummerSlam. And, honestly, probably Solo's best match since his last TV match with Cody before WrestleMania 39.
It's got to be better than that, right? I don't even remember that. Was that good? I didn't see it.
It was good, but this was definitely better.
This was better, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was tremendous. And it was a strong Solo performance. Obviously, Cody was great in that match. Really, really seemed motivated. They wanted to redeem the SummerSlam deal.
I'm very confused now. So, it was just Cody. Only Cody was good in the match.
No. Who said that?
You said it was a strong solo performance.
Oh. You're better than that, and you know it.
I know I'm not. I'm absolutely not.
Disgusting. But
Can you
yeah.
imagine Jesse Ventura calling a DIY,
Yes.
a DIY match?
Yes, I'm desperate for this, dude. Like, he won't be good at it at all because he thinks wrestling sucks now. I mean, he kind of thought wrestling sucked in 1992, and he was still funny on commentary. The tremendous trend. The main event segment of SmackDown was the big Cody Roman deal, and I was kind of half paying attention because I was preparing for Rampage. But it was a good episode. I thought best episode of SmackDown in a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
And it wasn't on Fox. So we didn't have as many ads, and it was just.
Yeah.
I think we've got a chance over there. I think if we get AJ back in the ball game, maybe we get a trade and get the White Six in. I think we've got a shot. I don't know. We'll see.
Did some overrun too. They were probably 9:05. I think they were on too.
Yeah, I had to do the fucking show by myself, Bob.
Damn.
Somebody didn't come to work.
9:05. That's weird because at 9:05 my time, Randy Orton and Kevin Owens are winning their tag match. I don't know what Bobby's talking about.
I know. I should have used
time
Eastern
zone
time.
bit.
Time zone banter.
Bob said I should have used the Eastern time. Don't stand down the troops like that, Bobby. Bobby conceding on this time zone bit. Like, yeah. Tremendous stuff. Right, let's do a couple more questions here. Matt, have we got time for your top of the hour maybe?
Yeah, it works.
Okay. We do get the 1 hour mark for us. That cool?
Yeah.
We started really late tonight, didn't we? Oh, of course we did. I remember that. Sorry, I was doing the math. I was going, what? All right.
This is hilarious.
Look how small you two are. We're coming on up with this when we have questions, all right? So, okay. This is from Brainbuster, who made his LNG debut on Wednesday. Shout out to Brainbuster, the Graps podcast. He says, ask Bob anything. What is your favorite championship belt of all time and of the modern era? Great question, Brainbuster.
Of all time, I think it's still probably the undisputed title that they had when Raw and SmackDown went separate that they gave to Brock. And it's not the best. I know it doesn't make a lot of lists, but it's one when I started watching and it, I guess sentimentally, holds quite a bit of meaning. I do have one as well back there. Currently it's tough because I don't like any of the WWE belts really, and I actually think the AEW International belt looked really cool.
Yeah,
that one is probably up there because all the WWE belts just look the same. It's a shame.
Bob, did you say you have the belt behind you?
I do. It's
hold it up.
It's in the
Put it over your shoulder.
It's in the closet. I'd have to get it real quick.
Yeah,
you can go off camera. You can go off camera.
No, leave the camera on.
No, leave Bobby alone, man.
Hold on, let me.
You two have legitimately got 2% of the screen.
That's the way it should be. Nobody's here for us.
I like the SmackDown tag belts. I like those belts. They're basically just the old tag belts.
Every WWE belt just looks like shit, man. I just think they all look bad. My favorite belt ever is the Big Gold.
Yes,
that's the number one of all time.
That's the heavyweight championship.
I like the Big Gold, and I like the old WWF Winged Eagle. You know
what?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Really?
Nope.
I like that one.
I like the I've never really liked any of the WWE titles. My favorite probably would have been the
There you go.
My God.
Do the rest of the show like that, Bob.
Screenshots at the ready, please. Folks. Go back, get that one. How big is it?
It's a full-size one, man.
Good God.
That is a great belt.
Was that? It must have been really expensive, right? Was that must have been a pretty.
Yeah, I think it was on discount. I got it from my cousin. Got it
Your cousin Vinny.
Is that a bootleg title, Bob?
No, it's from WWE shop. I think.
You should get a nameplate for it.
He thinks. Now the truth reveals itself, folks. This is why he's been avoiding this Q&A for so long. All right, let's do a couple more here. Franco, ask Bob anything. With Raw going into the Netflix era, I'd like to know. What I'd like to know is what you did with your barber's dead body.
Not going to answer that.
Good, smart. Don't incriminate yourself.
Sane response. That response was basically, you might as well said, I am guilty of murder. You did the eye close and the grin thing that Trump does.
Wow.
Anyway, for those of you who don't know, there's an episode of The Grin where we didn't have anything to talk about. Imagine that. And Shoot and I suggested that Bob was actually a murderer and had hit a body. I don't know why we did this.
Wasn't
but
this
Franco
around the time that
remembers
you
it.
had your movie idea?
Yeah, I had an idea for a movie where there's a bunch of podcasters and they have a very popular show. But one of the guys on the podcast is a murderer. And no one else knows it, obviously, because they're doing it through StreamYard, right? So as soon as he logs out of StreamYard, there's just gore and violence surrounding him. But of course, it's unknown that he's just a lovable host who talks about pop culture on the internet.
Yeah, it was just Joe pitched this to me one night. And I got very concerned, and I just decided he's in England, so it doesn't really matter anyway. Just well, he's not going to kill me because he told me.
Yeah, I did try in Chicago.
That doesn't make any sense.
He tried in Chicago,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Kind of worrisome,
Good time.
honestly.
So anyway, what happened to the barber?
It's already been answered.
All right. You could. So what was the other movie picture I had where it was it was just Bob quote tweeting people?
Oh, yeah.
The entire film existed over someone's shoulder while they did quote tweet wars back and forth, internal dialogue and such. These were the ideas I had when I was a young
There's
man.
also the Eric Bischoff picture.
That was good.
That was money. Oracle and I had something with that. We had something with that damn thing. I could still see the opening scene of him talking to the broom.
J Blood gave us a super chat, and he had a typo in it, so he just gave us another $10 to fix the typo. That's a fucking beast.
He did that
Ray
rule.
Blood's the man. We're going to do that in a second. In fact, we'll do it now. Ask Bob anything. Bob, are the windmills giving us cancer? Bobby, sorry, I apologize.
They're not. Thank you for the
Can you
question.
prove it?
You know, that's a good question, but you didn't submit it, so.
You didn't submit it. You didn't submit it. Like it's a legal form. All right. Meech says, can you break down the AFC North standings, Bob?
Yeah, no, absolutely, Meech. So only one team won. It was the Pittsburgh Steelers, led by former Chicago Bears quarterback Justin Fields. The Ravens lost to the Chiefs. They're 0-1. The lights are once again too bright for Lamar Jackson. The Browns lost to the Cowboys. Cowboys look good, Oracle. Browns have a giant issue.
That'll be the case until about the second weekend of January.
Well, yeah.
Usual.
The Browns aren't going anywhere because they are anchored to their quarterback, who is unmovable and bad at football. And, the Bengals also lost to the Patriots. I had the Bengals in Survivor. It was a tough loss. I do think they're going to recover, but, that's the AFC North for you at the moment. Thanks, Meech.
Can I just correct you in saying one thing? I believe the Pittsburgh Steelers were led by a man by the name of T.J. Watt.
Yeah, also Chris
more
Boswell.
apt.
Beautiful. I love it. I love the insight. I love the insight. All right, we'll do one last one before we return to something else. This is from Tom. He says, Bob, been a big fan of yours for many years now. And I've been dying to ask you, where do you get your ideas from?
I can't get too much into the process. I appreciate the question, but, I think you don't want to get too into it.
Bob Joe was very into the process there for a while. Didn't go well for him.
No,
That's
can we return? Let's return to because
Hashtag ask Bob anything. Bobby, what do you call Vicky Guerrero?
Actually call her Icky Guerrero.
Yeah, that was something. Just, Speaking of how you come up with ideas, did you guys see that clip of Rogan where he explains how he comes up with his jokes?
No.
No.
I swear to God, without a hint of irony, he goes, I can type. And whoever's talking to him goes, right, and he goes, and I don't have to look at the keyboard. So as I type, I swear this is a real thing. And he goes, so as I type the joke, with each word, I can imagine how the audience is reacting because I don't have to look at the keyboard, so I can think about these things. I thought he was doing a bit. He was being on it. That was really his explanation that he can type without looking at the keyboard.
Do you think Manny wrote that down in his notebook when he was watching?
I was going to seriously, what the fuck? If that was the case, wouldn't we all be just stand-ups? We're about as qualified, right? Good God. Tremendous stuff.
Does he still do UFC announcing?
Manny? No. We're going to get back to some questions in a minute. We've got one from Chi-Town Spurs waiting for us. Firstly, though, do you want to talk about wrestling?
No.
So, I watched WCW WrestleWar 91 this week. And I really like that show. But because obviously I'm broken by the game, all I could think the whole time was like,
Triple H?
Yes, the game. Yeah, the game Triple H. All I could think was, imagine live tweeting this show because there's 12 matches and 8 of them are 2.5s. You know.
Yeah.
Imagine us doing a Grin along. Everyone's just miserable, filling in our spreadsheet. I do think how many Ws? This is my question. I present to the panel. How many WCW pay-per-views would actually be considered good in the current landscape of wrestling conversational content?
3.
3, you reckon, yeah?
I can't name them, of course. That's just a number I picked. But...
This fascinates me, sincerely.
Can you imagine us sitting there watching I don't know, Slamboree 98 or something, and and watching it, and you're Eddie and Ultimo had a pretty good match, but you wanted it to be a little bit better than it was. You know?
Needed more time. I was thinking about this because it's just everything is so severe now. And I love WCW pay-per-views, but all of those pay-per-views have stuff that sucks. I think Matthews got the actual one, Stampede 94. That I think would get a positive.
People would be losing their mind live, I think, watching.
Yeah. The others I think have too much, too many spare pieces, I'll put it that way. I think. But
a different time.
I don't know. Well, what do you think of the discourse?
This specific discourse?
Any of them, really, mate.
Well, I'll comment on this one because it's what we're talking about. Yeah, I don't think too many of them would be kind of go over fondly. But the thing with that, and you know this, and we've talked about this before, just every crowd they have with those pay-per-views is so electric for everything. Well, not everything they're doing, but a lot more stuff than you would think they would be. Yes,
and they're very willing to be won over. On WrestleWar 91 is the famous deal where they have the Joshi tag. If you've never seen this, folks, I recommend it. They have about 6 minutes Joshi tag on WrestleWar 91. And, of course, JR is very scared beforehand. He says, I'm going to mess up everyone's name. Dusty refuses to learn any names other than Miss A. And they walk out to absolute silence. And within 3 minutes, they've got the place hooting and hollering because they're doing cool wrestling moves, which was the beauty of WCW crowds, right? That was a really cool thing they would do. Guys, it was never the same way in the WWF ever.
Do you think that the pay-per-views would be seen in a better light now if they pulled out about 5 matches and filled it with ads?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, let's go back to our... No, not that. Where's Oracle gone? We lost Oracle.
Oh, no.
Oh,
there we go.
Oracle.
Chi-Town Spurs. Bob, what are your top 3 memories of Carlos Zambrano?
Yeah, I was a big Zambrano fan. I was at his no-hitter, so that's number 1. That's just an all-time cool baseball thing. Saw him hit a couple home runs at various games when pitchers used to hit, and then one time he was ejected and then just took his bat and beat up the entire Gatorade cooler and phone in the dugout. Yeah, I'm glad he's back. He's back, sometimes doing TV and stuff, and it's really fun. It's nice when guys like that can come back.
Good Marlins run he had.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, but...
Well,
that was Sting. That was Sting that beat everyone up with the baseball bat. You know that, right?
Okay.
You got your wires crossed there. Thank you, Chi-Town Spurs, for the super chat. Ben sends one. He says, "Have Shoot, Bob, and Oracle seen the Triple H shirt that Manny bought? Have you guys seen this?
No.
No.
You know the one that we used on the Evolution thumbnail, the one with the I want to be careful how I describe this. Wait there, I'll pull it up. Hang on. Bob, fill that air, especially while you're on screen.
Okay. Yeah, I know the shirt you're talking about. It's very disturbing. But yeah, yeah.
Oh no. Well, I mean, fitting. He watches Rogan.
He pulled it out of his closet, bro. It was insane.
Oh no.
And I was like joking. He was like, "I've got a Triple H." And I was like, "I hope it's not one of those ones with anyone." Here it is. Thank you, Ben. Manny will be back on Sunday for the Anarchy Rules Grin Along. Colt asks, Bob, what's your best NFL bet this week? Great question.
I like the Cowboys -6.5 against the Saints. I know the Saints won last week, but the Panthers are bad, and I think the Cowboys are really good. And I know, again, it's going to backfire at some point, but in the regular season, I think you ride them as much as you can. I think they're the best team in the NFC right now.
Please gamble responsibly, folks.
That too. Yeah.
I have to say, and I don't know anything about what you're talking about, but you sounded really like you were on your game there. I've got
Bob knows his shit, man.
way. Like that was so sharp. It was like we were on the telly. You know, it was great. Great
He's
stuff.
a very heavy gambler, Joe.
I got the sense.
That is true.
All right, good question here from Darren. He says, if you had to completely turn on one LNG member along with the rest of the team and harm them using, say, some sort of plastic bag, who would it be and why? Great question.
I mean, I already have my feud with Oracle. You know, going back a couple of years, we cut promos on each other. Never got the payoff. So it'd be probably Oracle, but I mean, the convincing you two to turn on him would be tough.
It would,
No,
for anyone who doesn't know.
I don't think so.
Fair.
We could do LNG Civil War, Oracle and I versus Bobby and Shoot. For anyone who doesn't know, I believe this is the clip, right? I believe this is it.
You have no shot, pal. You're done.
Wow. It's a lot of tough talk from you, of all people. Because listen, if we get to the top of that stadium, if I'm going off, you're coming with me. And here's the thing. I'm going to not have you hit the blob down there. I'm do you right on the concrete.
Oh.
Yeah. And you know what? You chat.
He broke up. Look what happened. He broke up.
Fuck.
Do you ride on the concrete is still one of the craziest things that's ever been said on this program.
And the bit that always gets me on that is your switch of the music when Bobby goes. It is just perfect. Like the tone changes. Oh, it's perfect, man. Tremendous stuff. All right, there you go. Nathan asks, after being this is aged incredibly. After being so beast and supporting both precious NXT shows, what would you book for St. Louis if you had the pen for the day? Right, we'll switch this. What are you booking for Chicago? Because you'll no longer be there in St. Louis, nor the rest of the arena.
Yeah, I mean, Chicago, you know, they already have Roxanne and Julia going. They got Trick and Ethan going. I don't know.
True. My bad. Maybe you should book St. Louis after all, or wherever
Well,
they
yeah,
are now.
Bianca and Jade are seemingly going to face probably Lash and Jakara, and then they got Punk, and then so I think Chicago's getting pretty full.
Okay.
A lot of St. Louis to me was going to be kind of hanging on one or two of the debuts in Chicago, and I don't know if they're still going to do that. Just going to the smaller venue, and you know, with it being head-to-head with Dynamite, I kind of thought they'd be like last year, where the show that went head-to-head with Dynamite had like Cody and Cena on it, but I don't really see something like that now with it moving to the smaller venue. So again, for St. Louis, like I thought we'd get like a Randy match, maybe like tag match, but I don't even know if he's going to be there anymore. It's going to be interesting. That's one way to put it, I guess.
It's a strange situation because someone in the chat told us earlier they'd sold 3,000 tickets. So it's like, that's not like it's not good, but like you can easily run the TV with 3,000 people in there.
Yeah, I mean they weren't moving, but like it probably would have been fine. Like I said, they were doing combo tickets with Raw until like last week too. So
yeah, very strange.
You know,
weird.
Can I share an opinion?
Please do.
That Julia match on Tuesday was not good, but I don't entirely blame her because why are you having a 10-minute back and forth working face and peril fucking match with Chelsea Green? You know,
It was weird. Yeah, it was a weird
Yeah.
match. I actually thought it was. I thought it was a pretty good match, but I'm not sure it was the right match.
no, that's
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
it was not a good match. Like it was not like
Right.
what are you doing? Like this is terrible. This is terrible producing.
Look at these comments, Oracle. Oh no, Oracle. Thank you, Oracle. Yeah, I'm with you. The best worker on that show was Angelo Dawkins.
Oh, listen, I'm a Chelsea Green fan. I think she's great, but like maybe if you want to protect Chelsea Green because she's over in the main roster or whatever, then don't book her versus Chelsea Green.
Yep. Some must die so others can live. There's a time and a place, right, Oracle? There's a time and a place.
I think it was like the worst thing about the whole show.
Well,
What?
Duke Hudson versus
Well, I mean that's
Ridge Holland.
yeah.
Who?
No, I'm with you. It was a mistake.
It was bad.
Who did you just say? What just
I did
happened?
it again. Fuck.
I had already. Oh, okay.
No.
I wanted to do a couple more questions. We actually have a lot more than I realized. I'm kind of alarmed. Cal followed up on that, by the way, and said, Chelsea cannot get me here. Match sucked. Chelsea, quote, tweet dunk, Cal. Thank you for the super chat, Cal. We wish you well in that fight. Ben says, Bob, thoughts on Hulk Hogan? Great question.
Yeah, I actually call him the immoral Hulk Hogan.
See, I thought he would have won you over as of late. It just shows you're consistent. All right. Cal asks, do you think you could take on NWA World Champion Roxanne Perez?
No, absolutely not. She kicked shit out of me.
What a visual that is. You're probably like, what, 2 foot taller?
Yeah.
Especially with your cowboy boots on.
Wait a minute. How tall are you, Bobby? 6'4"?
Like 6'6".
Oh,
He's
okay. If you're
6'6",
6'6", I'm pretty sure Roxy's like
She's like 3'9", right?
yeah, she's like 4'11". Yeah, so he is almost.
Yeah, with the cowboy boots, especially, right? With his hat on. Hitman says, how much blame does Bob get for tweeting that the Sky were in a good position to make the playoffs on August 14th? Great question.
Well, they were in good position. They kind of fucked it up the entire past few weeks. Then Angel Reese got hurt. I think they're a year away, maybe 2 years away, but there were some bright spots this year.
Very sharp. Very, very sharp. Thank you, Hitman, for the super chat here.
Bob, do you think
Riley
the Sparks are going to win the lottery?
Yeah, honestly, probably.
I hope so, man. Paige and Cam together,
That'd be fun as hell.
and Rakia Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Be a fun team.
Riley asks, Bob, how do you feel about people accidentally going live on Instagram?
You know, we kind of got into that a little bit earlier. You got to be careful. Be careful on social media. You know, make sure you don't go live. Protect yourself. Protect your brand.
Make sure that you don't endorse an article, 10 years earlier. Then make sure people don't find it on Twitter and scare confirm shoot that you're going to be thrown off the app.
I was very worried for you that day, Bob.
That's one of my favorite things that ever happened. Poor Bobby makes one bad post in like 2012. It got discovered, and Bob just kind of did like a Bob thing and was like, my bad, guys, that was a dumb one. And Shoot was like, I am concerned that Bob O'Neill was going to be kicked off of Twitter. Don't have an ass. What do you call Hulk Hogan?
I usually call him the immoral Hulk Hogan.
This is an onslaught. Jesus. Plethora. Bob, did you have dinner with RFK in Springfield?
I didn't. I've never been to Springfield.
That is an incredible answer. Oh my God, what an answer. All right. I want to note, by the way, that Bob's old bad tweet wasn't like actually problematic. It was just he like complimented someone who who was it? They went to the same like school as you or some shit.
Yeah.
It was not actually problematic. I want to be clear. Bob didn't say like a slur or anything, guys. He's wholesome fave.
Bob was just a Republican for a little bit. It's okay.
Anyway,
He learned. It's fine.
did you
Bro.
guys watch that that hour Iron Man match between Dolph Ziggler and Josh Alexander?
Yep. 2.25. Speaking of Republicans, that was poor timing. I had to do it though. I couldn't.
Oh, he's earned that one, I think.
My brain, even though it happened late.
He's not Republican, bro. He's in the middle. He's told you this many times.
It's true.
It's in the middle, bro. It's just a guy I've just given opinions. All right. Bob, is there anything you want to talk about other than these questions, bro? Because I wanted to kill like 4 minutes before we get to the hour.
I'm having a good time with the questions. I'm trying to think of anything else on SmackDown.
Well, he did say he didn't have dinner. He didn't been to Springfield. He didn't lie about the dinner.
Bob, you haven't been on LNG Gold yet, right?
I've not.
You should talk about how excited you are to make your debut.
I am excited. That is going to come Sunday, I believe. I said I'd be on that show as long as it's done before the Bears game, which is at night. So I think we will be.
What time is the Bears game?
8:20 Eastern. So
we should be fine.
Yeah. It'll be fine. I'll be on. And then, I mean, tomorrow, if you are going to do the WCW Saturday Night one, I know you're back and forth. I'll come on for that one, too. It's probably one I just watched in the past couple months.
Joe's taking the day off.
I'm going to take it off. I think I'm making towns, popping pills, you know.
It'll be cool to watch for people who haven't seen it. But, I mean, if you've seen, like, all of those, it's just going to be another episode.
It isn't one on the network, as far as I know.
Okay. Yeah, so probably it's Austin, so it's got to be, like, spring 94.
Speaking of LNG Gold,
I was just when that popped up in the chat, I was literally about to ask why we were talking to Bobby Kennedy when he wasn't a subscriber, and then okay, all right, that's a good bit.
Yeah, that's a good bit. I respect the bit. Shoot, you're the host for a second. Let me just reply to this text.
Hello, everyone. You are watching the Late Night Grin episode number 126. Hashtag Ask Bob Anything. I am the confirmed shoot, a.k.a. Matty Bullets, not problematic. I'm joined by Robert O'Neill, a.k.a. Bobby Two Shoes, and the Oracle of Wrestling, a.k.a. the Oracle of Wrestling. And you all know Joe Holbert, who's also known as Joey Bing Bong.
Yep.
Thank you.
Once proud man, as you put it earlier.
Yeah.
What is that grouping you was? Used to have guts. Joey Blood. We'll get this one in quickly before we Bob, how do you dispose of dead bears in your possession?
You got to ask the other guy, man. He's there in the chat.
Oh,
well, Bob, did you ever have like a Rex Grossman jersey growing up, or did you or anything like that? Did you burn those?
No, I never got a quarterback jersey. I would stick with the defensive players because they were good.
Did you get you a Lance Briggs jersey?
No, I had Urlacher. I had a Hester jersey too.
Okay.
Okay, we're under a minute away from the confirmed shoots. Extensive, substantial PowerPoint presentation. As JJ Williams mentioned earlier, no wrestler has ever done PowerPoint presentations, let alone a wrestling conversational content creator.
Correct.
Of which we are top of the field, of course. So this is really exciting. It's kind of a piece of history here, right? This is going to be one of those deals they tweet about, like on this day in 2024, the confirmed shoot, broke the walls down.
Well, don't make Bob mad.
Where did he go where was he on the PWI 500? Chrissy Jericho?
I do not know. I would guess probably in like the 5 or 6 range.
Samoa Joe was 11, dude. We were so close to the top 10. Gotta go again next year. Well, that was our best shot to break a top 10, but
he has to have been in the top 10 at some point, right?
Yeah, but it was a last stand, so I could send it to Dave.
True.
All right, we're there. Go on, Matt. Take it away, mate.
All right, let's see how this looks. I'm gonna put this on the screen. Let's see what happens. There we go. Okay, so to be clear, the original version of this had it in our fancy font, but when I added it to the StreamYard, the font disappeared. Definitely didn't make me mad at all, but that's fine. So what I'm going to present to you now is a PowerPoint about the 2024 PWI 500. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the PWI 500, this is a ranking done by Pro Wrestling Illustrated, which is a magazine. I believe you can still buy on your newsstand or your local grocery store. I believe they still sell magazines in the grocery store. Bob, you would know. And it's important to note with the PWI 500 is that it's not necessarily a ranking reflecting the quality of the professional wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
It is a ranking of the year that they had. And to be clear, the evaluation period here is from August 1st, 2023 to July 31st, 2024. Now, that's important to note because if someone had actually looked up what these wrestlers did during that evaluation period, which I did not do that, that may give some insight into why they were ranked where they were.
I would agree, yeah.
So I should also be clear that this is copyright of me, 2024. This is not necessarily reflective of the Late Night Grin as a whole. This is this is something I produced. This is my opinion. And as I said, we're gonna highlight rankings 64 through 67. I feel like this was a very important piece of the PWI 500. Some people may have noticed things like the Costco guy being ranked, which I didn't even realize he had 7 singles matches in the evaluation year. I think he was in the 250s somewhere.
250?
Yeah.
Why would he be in the 250? There are 250 people under contract with the World Wrestling Federation.
Somebody being Brandon, who we all know and have met,
Thurston?
asked me to review one of his matches, and if I did, he would actually watch one of our shows. As if I give a fuck if he watches one of our shows. Like, I'm not watching a fucking Costco guy match in 2024. Come on now. Anyway, so here we see, and that's unfortunate that it's turned the one into 2 lines, but I'm not gonna let that bother me. So here you see the rankings for the 2024 PWI 500. This is again 64 through 67. At 64, you have Blake Christian. I believe Blake Christian was the GCW champion during this evaluation period. Obviously, that is one of the highest honors in professional wrestling and definitely something that we should care about. He also appeared on Ring of Honor a few times and lost. At 65, we have Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher has made big strides in the last 6 weeks, but that does not qualify for this evaluation period. We also lost all the time, but he looks cool now. But he did win the Ring of Honor World Television Championship during this evaluation period. He lost that title in Mexico, not even on a Ring of Honor show, which is kind of disrespectful to the promotion. Sure. But I'm not 100%. I believe that was before July 31st. I believe that is part of the evaluation period. At number 66, we have Solo Sikoa. I don't know a whole lot about this gentleman. From the little bit of research that I did, he appears to be an actor in something called the Bloodline Saga. But I do believe he wrestled Cody Rhodes maybe during this evaluation period. Is that right?
They kind of brought him in like a Zeus-esque role, like a crossover from the movie.
I will say that in the picture that I found there, he does look pretty cool.
He's good in pictures, bro. He's very good in pictures.
Yeah. And then at 67, we have Konosuke Takeshita. Now, in my opinion, Konosuke Takeshita is one of the premier professional wrestlers in the world today. That being said, his accomplishments during the evaluation period were few and far between. He's now managed by Don Callis for some reason. He loses a lot. He occasionally wins on Rampage. I saw him have an incredible match with Will Ospreay in Greensboro, North Carolina. That match was overshadowed by Sting retiring, which is kind of selfish.
He lost.
He also lost, yes. Mm-hmm. So I weighed these factors and I considered these rankings. And I think a lot of people saw these rankings and got really mad about it. I know this because I got a number of quote tweets about the tweet that I made to set this bit up. We had some people in my mentions flat out arguing about whether Blake Christian should be in the PWI 500. But I was able to come to a conclusion after weighing all the factors and looking at where Takeshita was ranked versus his ability and his talents. And I've come to the following conclusion. Tony Khan must pay for his crimes.
Picture, Tony.
I want to thank you all for your time and consideration. This has been my evaluation of the PWI 500 rankings, number 64 through 67. If Konosuke Takeshita is not in the top 10 of the PWI 500 next year, then Tony Khan should be replaced as the head booker of All Elite Wrestling.
Factual. Talk to him.
And that about wraps it up for me. I can take any questions if anyone has them. Whoa.
Jeez.
That's unfortunate.
I was wondering how you felt, because clearly you looked into it. Like, how do you generally feel about crossover entertainment stars in wrestling? Because I do think Solo's shown to be kind of a natural, but he is still an actor by trade, right? Like, are you for that kind of crossover deal or not really?
So I generally don't have a problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that when it involves people that are clearly problematic and pieces of shit, and everyone pretends they're not because they can do some cool wrestling moves, that's kind of unfortunate. I probably wouldn't do that. But otherwise, it's cool.
What would make that even worse somehow would be if everyone that hates the choreography of modern wrestling, like, loved that dude's matches, right?
Yeah.
Like, even though he was like clearly like just doing like a manual of wrestling moves.
Right.
That'd be so lame. Dude. Can you imagine how annoying that'd be if you had a friend called Alex who like actively stood in opposition to the choreography of wrestling, but then was like, "Oh my god, did you see this new YouTuber?" That'd be God, that'd drive me nuts, Bob. Could you imagine living that life?
Oh, no. He does this move better than Hangman Page, shit like that.
Yeah. All right. Let's go back to our formula. Thank you for that shit. It was really insightful, mate.
You're welcome, Joe.
Piranha, ask Bob anything. Any tips for Unk?
Oh, other than just don't go live, protect your brand. But, Chad Johnson was having some, had a nice interview with him today, gave him some tips. So check that out. That was good.
There you go. Plug. They needed that, I'm sure. Caden Lee of the Dance. That's us, by the way. We're the Dance.
Yeah.
Says, I will not risk suspension with my questions. Thank you, Caden Lee.
Smart.
Caden Lee is one of the greatest full name people I've ever met. Like, you can't just say Caden. I did it a couple of times for a great name. It's Caden Lee every time, right?
Right.
Perfect name to do the full name treatment. Lovely stuff. All right. We have a question from Big Hitbox Fiend.
Mm-hmm.
You used to call them the Bad Brothers. You call them the Good Brothers. On occasion, you've called them the Great Brothers. What can Gallows and Anderson do to go beyond great? I ask myself this every day.
They've been workhorses lately, but I think they need to win some gold. I think that's really the next step. They have not won any gold since returning to the WWF. They got to change that.
They have. This week on Talking Shop, they were concerned about their placement on the Apple Podcast rankings, and they declared that they were once 9, but it required them getting fired to do that. And then there appeared to be a moment's pause as they pondered whether it'd be worth it to repeat that feat in order to reclimb the rankings of the Apple Podcasts. They recorded the podcast inside the Machine Guns vehicle in the NXT parking lot because they no longer are brought to SmackDown. So I say all this to say that they're way beyond great. When you're doing that kind of performance art, you're talking about the best of all time right there, brother. Don't get any better. All right. Ryan says, what are some of your favorite matches that don't involve a championship? That's a wrestling question, Bobby. There you go, mate.
It is. It's a good question. Off the top of my head, the main event of In Your House Canadian Stampede is a match I watch quite a bit.
Yes.
Obviously, Rock Austin from WrestleMania 19 we've talked about at length on here. Omega Danielson, obviously. I know Omega was champion then, but,
It wasn't for the belt, yeah.
Yeah. the Natural Nightmares against Butcher and Blade in the bunkhouse match, which I saw they're doing another bunkhouse match next weekend, I believe. Fired up for that one. One I just saw for the first time recently, John Cena against JBL in the parking lot brawl at the 2008 Great American Bash. Also very
Fun.
good.
Very fun. Good answers, Bobby. You're pretty good at this. We should do just a weekly Bob Q&A every week. Rotating guest. Or host, I should say. All right, Liz asks, hey, Bob, heard about any new cool board games?
Yes. I told Liz that I would plug this. One of their friends is making a new board game on Kickstarter called Tax Evasion. I can retweet the link later, but yeah, definitely check that out. Give them some support. Any friend of Liz is a friend of mine.
That sounds awesome, actually. Please do retweet that. Use the sign-up code LNG. Also from Liz, who are you voting for? That was nasty. I should have read them together.
No, you know what? Because Liz does this bit more than anyone on this show or in the chat. So, whatever.
All right. A non-answer, folks. Make note of that.
That's interesting.
Ryan asks, hey, Bob, why are you afraid of Miles Morales?
That's disgusting. I'm getting attacked.
What's that in reference to? I don't even know that bit.
It's the video game, the one
I
between the two Spider-Mans. Because I haven't played it yet.
Let me be clear. I know Miles Morales. My concern was why you were scared of him. I didn't understand.
He told me to play it for the past 3 years, and I've been playing other stuff. I've played MLB The Show, and
Bobby, you want to know something?
Yeah.
I bought that game when I got my PlayStation 5, and I still haven't played it. It just sits on my dashboard.
It's not as good as but it is. It is fun. They're like
awesome.
The Spider-Man games are like the only games I've played in years. They're awesome.
I know. I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were doing a bit there.
No, I sincerely, I don't ever play video games.
Yeah.
Andrew, would you say the Philadelphia Phillies are the big dogs of the National League and the league in general?
Sure look like it. I only lost tonight, but they look good, man.
Fuck them.
Fair.
Andrew follows up. What is your projected record for the Chicago Bulls basketball team? And what are your thoughts on their star player, Josh Giddey?
I mean, they're probably going to be like 500 again, like they are every year. And as far as Josh Giddey goes, more like Josh Shitty.
Was that one? Do you have a script?
I don't.
Bob he reflected like he had like he had a prompt.
Cue cards.
Oh, good God. Right, we have a question for all of us here, I feel. We can kick this around. We can buy 5 minutes for this. All right. This is from Ben. Thank you, Ben. What is the end goal of JBL's comeback run?
Grins.
Trump endorsement.
Imagine we brought him on. Do you think he'd have fun with us? Or do you think he'd call us?
No, he would fucking hate us.
He wouldn't like us.
But he's kind of doing like a PR thing, though. He might see it as like a Make-A-Wish deal, you know?
Yeah. I mean, he would probably treat us fine on here, but he would bury us after.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who would he bury us? Tell them what he
go
was.
over here and be like, hey, man, I love it when you go out there and just beat the shit out of people, you know? Bully, you know. And
I love JBL trying to get rid of this image as like a bully, and Oracle's like, I'd love when you just take advantage of the boys and just rough them up, you know? Just go to work with clotheslines and punches and big boots. I watched for Fave Fight Friday, check it out, LNG Gold. I watched the last Ride match with The Undertaker.
No Mercy 04, I have that on physical media.
And beautiful. And the reason it was requested was because Hayden said it was the first wrestling physical media he ever got. And it's a fun match, but what stood out about was JBL is the better worker in that match.
Mm-hmm.
And you know me, I'm pro Taker, you know, in ring. But I don't know if Shoot just didn't want to be part of this conversation, but JBL's really good in that match. It surprised me, honestly. And I'm a fan, but I mean, good God, it was impressive.
That gives me an idea for stay tuned for later this year and this month, beginning this month, but later this year for, and I'll plug it later at the end of the show, the Oracle's history of wrestling.
School.
School of Wrestling, yeah. I'm great at this. I'm great at this. School of Wrestling. School of Wrestling.
You hesitated, like you knew it weren't right, but you just you went.
I'm great
History.
at this, folks. Keep giving us your money while I fuck up the plugs. Oracle's School of Wrestling. Because JBL and Taker, I'll just give a tease, and I don't know when we'll do it, but there's a particular match from the summer of 2005 that they have on SmackDown on television.
Ooh.
That is an underrated TV classic from the World Wrestling Federation during the Ruthless Aggression era. I know Bobby's familiar with it, and he agrees. That might be a match that we throw on the block there. For,
JBL's best stuff is TV, because he also has the cage match with Eddie on TV, which is really
well,
fun.
he will be covering the Bob Holly feud on that. I'm just going to go ahead and just leak a few things out here. We'll be covering the Bob Holly series from October of 2004. It'll be September and October of 2004. We'll be covering that at some point during our obscurities of the ruthless aggression. That's actually tough to say. I mean,
that's difficult.
That's a tongue tire right there.
I've been avoiding that the whole time. There, look at that. Look at that beauty. What a beauty.
Hell yeah.
There we go.
Yep. Right. What was I gonna? Oh yeah. So JBL's comeback run. It feels like he's gonna wrestle a match to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
Now, when I say wrestle, I mean it's gonna probably be like a brawl of some type, right? It's probably what he's gonna go and do. I don't know if he's gonna fall down much. TNA, it seems like he's circling as. What do we think? Well, I think he may. What I think might happen. I don't know what he did at TNA tonight if he was on TNA, but I could see him doing an angle with Dolph. He turns on Dolph because who would he pick to work with? Right? It would be Dolph.
When that clip of him like doing Pledge of Allegiance.
Legitimately yelled like without any control of myself. Did you see what he tweeted? And he was like, "Took a trip to Mexico to call me one of the all-time greats." If they do JBL and Nemeth, we're doing I'm definitely doing a grin along for that shit, dude. Like 100%, I'm doing it. No doubt about it. Yeah, it's for good times.
Remember when he was a Corb's manager?
Oh, and he kept burying Gargano.
Oh.
It used to be better. All right. That's our answer, I think. Shoot, do you want to see JBL in AEW?
Sure.
Correct answer. Mark Briscoe versus JBL. Bring it to me.
That would roll.
I went and got my collection of physical media out of the garage. There's a lot more here than I remember there being. These are all World Wrestling Federation DVDs.
Oh, damn.
Why have you got them like?
Save space, brother. Why would I need the cases?
Cases are a key part of the physical media experience, honey. Come on.
No, man.
He's got him in a spindle. This rules. List them out for us.
I'm married, man. I don't have room to put a bunch of fucking wrestling DVDs on the damn shelf.
You have the room. You've made a clear choice, which I resent. That's what you've done there.
Yeah.
That's insane.
To be fair, that's a choice I made about 10 years ago. Because I don't even know why I still have these. I don't even have a DVD player. I guess I could put it on my.
But how would you? So would you just have to put one by one, take them out to find the one you want? Like you have no indicator of which is.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
What do you got there, Shoot?
I mean, I can go.
He doesn't know.
I'll be honest. I don't.
Okay, here's a good deal. What if for every question I ask Bob, you reveal a new DVD?
Okay, let's do it.
Yep.
I've got about 40 of them here. So.
All right. Can we? The problem is though, should we switch? There you go.
There we go. I've also got a Snickers pecan here.
Okay, good.
I said you could buy
one of our
at your
sponsors,
local grocery.
I saved up some
carbs for the day specifically so I could eat this Snickers pecan during the show because they're a sponsor.
Yep, alongside WWE 2K, they're one of our great sponsors. Chucky says, serious question. What was the match that made Bob fall in love with the sport of kings and carnies pro wrestling? That's a great question. Follow up. Why is it Berlin versus Hacksaw Jim Duggan from Full Brawl 99? Great question, though. Seriously. Go for it, Bobby.
Yeah, I don't remember, a match specifically, but like the one big angle that I remember that kind of hooked me was, when the NWO came back and they put The Rock in the ambulance and T-boned him with the semi. From there it was just like I need to watch every week, and because I didn't watch the pay-per-view, because no one in my family really liked it, so I was mostly just watching the TV, and it was compelling enough, and just kind of stuck with it.
Yeah.
Wait.
That's great. Yeah. Well,
So Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That adds up.
Matt, what's the first
DVD number
bro?
1. WrestleMania X7.
Oh.
Disc 1. Hilarious.
One of the greatest.
Probably in here somewhere.
That's one of the greatest of all time right there, bro. I've never
There we
heard
go.
about WrestleMania
That's the
17.
first one.
That's a great looking disc, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It
See,
is.
the discs look better than the cases, guys. Like,
Yeah. Good call. those things definitely can't coexist.
I'm gonna do another
Right,
one.
You gonna do another one?
Yeah. This is
God.
WWF Best of Raw Volume 2. And you can see The Rock and Triple H are on there. And if you want to know what's on this DVD, I have no idea because I don't have the case.
Good call. Novi, I've heard of him. Bob, are you still hammering out that very lucrative deal with WrestlePurist that you announced on LNG 100? And also, can we expect you in next year's Rumble? Two great questions. Go one at a time, Bob.
First one, yes. These things take time. Second one, you really...
Tell me about it.
Second one, you just got to stay tuned. That's really all you can say. Just wait till February or whenever the Rumble is this year, and just see what happens.
Joe, I've decided that I'm going to do 2 DVDs after each question. So next we have WrestleMania 2000, Disc 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is an interesting choice because if you don't know what the graphics for that WrestleMania look like, you wouldn't know which WrestleMania this is because it just says
I remember.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I remember because the blue or the green neon.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I have a DVD that is WrestleMania: The Official Insider's History.
Mm.
I believe this came with a book. There may actually not be a case for this one.
Oh, good God, I'm still recovering. All right. The great
Coming up,
Chris
Joe?
Bourdine. Yep. The great Chris Bourdine. Bob, how many years of eligibility do you have left, and would you consider being Michigan's new quarterback? Great question.
I don't think I have any left. I actually went to college for 5 years, so that
Took you 5 years, huh?
it did. I had to change my major. It was the whole thing.
Took me 7, so.
And for the second one, no, I don't want to be their quarterback. I mean,
Who does?
it can get worse, but yeah.
That won't end well. That won't end poorly for me in a few months.
If. I think. Here it is. What was it like going to high school with both Charlie Kirk and porn stars?
Yeah, I don't know that second part. I don't. The first part's unfortunate.
Good answer, Bob.
Yeah, I don't.
Does
You're a
your mom
wholesome
watch this?
fave.
What's up?
She ought to. Hello?
Yep,
You all right?
I'm good.
I think Shoot had said something. I
Yeah.
didn't say anything.
Would you say shoot?
Does your mom watch this?
She does not.
You can just admit it.
No, I have never heard of that. Like, usually it's something you hear, like, rumors throughout.
You've never heard of porn stars?
No, I believe the implication was there at my high school.
Oh,
That was
okay.
the implication. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Good answer, Bob. Stand firm, Bobby. Be proud. I love it.
I gotta show some more discs here. I almost forgot.
Yep.
Here we have Best of Raw Volume 1.
There you go.
There you go.
It's got Stone Cold Steve Austin and Mankind on it.
I think that's the one I had on VHS when I was a kid, if I'm thinking of the right one.
And then speaking of Mankind, we have Mick Foley, Hard Knocks, and Cheap Pops.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's great.
And then I forgot to do it after the last question, so I'm gonna do a couple more. We got NWO Back in Black.
Oh, that is outstanding.
And then this is one of my favorite shows of all time. We got the Royal Rumble. Triple H, Cactus Jack.
Okay.
You can see
Yeah.
Big Show Paul White looking menacing, and then The Rock, who's on basically all of these DVDs.
Joe, what is it doing to you right now that those discs are being just sort of...
Oh, it's made me real mad. Yeah. Real mad.
Now, see, the best payoff to this would be to follow this up by sending them to you, but I'm not paying $100 to do that.
No, nor am I.
I've almost thrown them away a couple times. They've literally been in my garage for 6 years now.
This is from
I'll send them to Alex. I bet that would
at
be
Hope.
awesome.
It'll make him real mad. Yeah. At Hope she sees this. Hope she see this. What are your thoughts on Fully Loaded 2000?
I don't know if I've seen the whole thing. I've seen
Wonder if
Rock
I
and
have that
Benoit.
in
That
here.
match is good. Triple H and Jericho's good. I think I've only seen those two matches, though.
Who should smash the like button? Huh, Bob?
People should.
We'll do a grin along maybe one
Oh,
day.
I'm not going to show those.
Do you just expose pornography? What do you got over there? TNA?
Oh,
Real American confirmed shoot.
Related.
well,
The ultimate Ric Flair
that's an
collection.
all-timer. I'm going to be honest with you. That's
It's a
an
great
all-timer.
set, yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of good wrestling matches, unfortunately. These are the games we play. Look at the way Shoot's handling these discs, fellas.
What do you want me to
This
do?
is abhorrent.
Hey, what do I care?
We're still just this same he said for just being honorable. Come on. All right. Lukey, favorite presidential campaign
What?
slogans of what is that one? Oh, Austin. Favorite presidential campaign slogans of all time.
Probably Yes We Can. Like, Obama was big because, like, I was in high school and he was a Chicago
Yeah.
guy, and we were all really excited, and there was a lot of optimism when he got in, and I think we're not as optimistic as we were in 2008 as a people. There's a lot of reasons for that, but it was nice to be optimistic.
Lovely answer. Good job, Bob. I think you've done a hell of a job this evening, mate.
Thank you.
Lambo, good question. Bob, in honor of the PWI 500 coming out this week, who are your 500 greatest wrestlers of all time? Feel free to take a breath on this one. I know it's a little difficult.
Yeah, I did the 64 last year, Bob Badness. I don't know that too many have been added since then. It was hard to get to 64. I don't know if there's been 500 wrestlers that I've liked ever.
I was going to say, do you reckon you could actually do a 500 list and like have exclusive wrestlers that you don't dislike?
It'd be tough because, like, you get to a certain point where it's just like, there's a guy that popped me. They're not in any sort of order.
I had the idea for like half a second of doing an LNG 500, but the ranking would exclusively be like their importance to late night Grin lore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized it's 500 wrestlers and then decided it was a bad idea.
Joe sent me that idea, and I'm pretty sure I didn't even reply to it all. I think I just changed the subject immediately, if I remember right.
I think you said like fuck this, and then you. Yeah,
That sounds like
good.
me.
Who?
Right,
That's
here's
a
some
good
more.
question. Who won Bob Badness?
It was Ric Flair.
Well, sure was.
Over Brian
Shoot.
Danielson.
What's happening, mate?
Here's ECW, the best of Cactus Jack.
Wow.
This is a good disc. Got some good.
They did that
promos
as
on it.
Was that his own set, do you think, or was that with like a Foley package of some kind?
No, this is its own thing. This is an actual
Wow.
ECW DVD.
Wow.
And then we've got WWF Invasion.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
I was at
Oh,
this
you-
show. I was in the very
Let
last.
the
show.
bodies hit the floor. Let the
Joe, this will be near and dear to your heart. Here's WWF Rebellion.
Oh yeah. My brother was at that show.
I'm just gonna keep going.
Let's not get carried away.
Here's WWF No Way Out, where the NWO debuted. There appears
There
to
you
be
go, Bobby.
semen on the DVD.
No.
Interesting
Jesus.
choice.
Right, one more and then another question, Matt. Calm down. You're getting carried away.
And then here's WWF Vengeance, where Chris Jericho famously beat The Rock and Stone Cold
Yeah.
Steve Austin the same
He's
night.
brought that up. Yeah, he's brought that up a few times.
I think
All right.
I've got every pay-per-view from that year on DVD.
That sounds about right.
A big 2001 merchant.
Yeah, you love the WCW logo. Hayden asked Bobby, what do you consider the ultimate scran? Now, this is, Bob, I don't know if you speak. Scran, does that mean anything to you?
It's like food at stadiums, right?
There you go. Go on.
Whatever, yeah.
You just, honestly, I think any food would be just there. Go for it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just kind of in general, I guess pizza. Like when you go to a stadium, like the stadiums here don't have, like you see some of those accounts and like some of the food looks bad, but some of it looks good. Like the stadiums here don't really have good food. They do like the big novelty stuff, and then like you don't want to eat at a stadium usually.
It's absurd.
I remember when we went to the Sixers. I can't remember what we got. It was like some kind of chicken. It was just based like chicken tenders, basically, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you
$40.
When you go to a stadium for whatever here in the States, you basically you might get a soda or like an ice cream or something, but like if you're really hungry, I might get like a nachos, you know.
Those are good, yeah.
The one good gimmick that they do now at the stadiums, at least not all of them, but is now for the most part now you get to you just buy your cup and then you can just fill it up repeatedly the whole game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had that at SummerSlam 2022 when I was there in Nashville. You could just refill your cup, which was
the
cool.
first time I experienced it was when we went to Raw when Roman Reigns came back from when he beat leukemia and then returned. We drove to that show and I was like in disbelief that I could just go fill my soda up over and over again. And now we have that at Ohio State basketball now. So it's good bang for your buck. If you drink way too much Diet Coke like I do, you can go fill it up every quarter.
I was in club seats for the Falcons and Packers game last year in week 2. And like you get like the all you can eat and then like the unlimited drinks and stuff. So that was pretty beast.
Question from Earth Plate. Which wrestlers would you like to do a 3-hour Iron Man? Which wrestlers would you like to see have a 3-hour Iron Man match?
None.
Good answer.
And now pick 2 women. Now pick 2 women to do it. There was a double question there. I apologize.
Unfortunately, still none.
Yeah. I don't know. I think based on what we saw in Grin, I think Lexi and Sonya could give it a good shot.
Beef and Roddy Strong would be good.
But did you see that Oracle? Did you see that Beef match tonight?
Yes, I did. It was good. Beef.
It was good.
Beef's a fun wrestler, man, and Roddy's. Beef got over, and that Lexington crowd is legitimately one of the saddest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was brutal crowd.
And not only that, because like sometimes they listen. Sometimes
what an insane way to phrase that. That rules.
Listen, sometimes they've had small crowds that have been great, but this crowd was like
it was awful.
I was watching that Aminata Ryan match, which was good because they were like working really stiff, and there was no reaction. And then Nigel came out and cut his promo, and it was like, why does he have to cut his great promo here? Like, it was still great. I still got excited about it, but like, it's just like
it was bad, man.
It was tough.
Really bad.
How was Takeshita Andretti? Andretti did some unfortunate stuff.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Andretti was pretty bad in that. Yeah, he was pretty bad.
Remember way back in 04-08 when Aries and Danielson were rumored to be building to a 3-hour match? Yes, that's the one where they aborted like halfway through, right? Didn't they like get like an hour and decided it would be a bad idea? Isn't that the story?
Didn't they do 90 minutes or was it 70?
I can't remember. I forget. Danielson got really perverse with the like.
I have not seen a lot of his stuff from Ring of Honor. Like
you wouldn't like a lot of it.
The thing that a lot of people don't know is that if you weren't around on the message board at the time, and there was only stuff that like, and even I only really saw it like brought up like a few years later when I actually got on the message boards. But like apparently like 05, 06, 07, he was getting a lot of criticism for his.
Yes, it was the
way too long. Like
you would like his stuff in like 03 and 04.
Yeah.
Once he gets the belt, he does go like he's like full like Flair as NWA champ, and every match is really long. And there's obviously great stuff in there, but I think it would annoy you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that stuff's all lost to history, right? Like we've talked about this before, but as Ring of Honor champ, Nigel was like crazy divisive, and now it's just like everyone loves Nigel.
He
was very polarizing there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get into that right now.
Yeah. Rice
I'll
Man.
get kicked off the brand.
Matt, do you want to review another DVD?
No, I don't. Oh wait, here's the rise and fall of ECW.
That's a good one.
Great set.
All-time great doc.
The rest of these are. Oh, here's
My brother was-
WWF Action, which
Oh,
famously
yeah.
has
I had that
Raven
on
and Rhino
VHS.
on the cover.
I had that on VHS when I was a kid.
What is that? Just like a random match set?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's got like
My-
the rest of these are just pay-per-views. It's boring.
My brother told me that they did a what they called A&E autobiography. No, not what they called
Biography.
biography. Yeah. Autobiography. What am I talking about? Biography. A&E. They did one on ECW and they had like 40 minutes. And I walked in when he was watching it, and they were reusing some of the interviews from Rise and Fall. It was insane. All right. Some questions. Rice Man, can you please name 20 backstage friends of Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff? Great question.
I can't, unfortunately. Paul Roma, probably. From
I
there.
doubt it.
Yeah, fair.
Hulk
yeah,
Hogan.
yeah. He ruled, though.
Not Vader.
Hulk
though.
Hogan.
No, Paul Orndorff.
Both. But Vader, he beat up Vader.
Mm.
Yeah.
Paul Roma.
No, Paul Orndorff.
Was that like when Jericho beat up Goldberg?
No, I think he actually knocked him out, didn't he?
I think he did.
The neutral story has been that he absolutely did punch him in the face and knocked him over.
Bob, is that why you put him in your bracket?
Mm-hmm.
I like when the tone shifts slightly. It feels like Bob's on the stand.
Yeah.
I asked Bob about Paul Orndorff knocking out Vader, and he responded to me like he was being incriminated.
Bob, have you heard about Pat Tanaka and his kicks? Eric Bischoff?
I have.
How many people, new grinners, do you think even know that story? Should we tell that again?
You want to tell it?
I
guess
you
I
gotta
have to tell
it.
I did ask John Alba about it on the show once.
You did. Should we switch? Let's do this for a moment.
Whoa! I don't think I like this. It's much funnier when it's Bob. So as the story goes, Eric Bischoff is
It's about the same number of 10 winning seasons South Carolina has as a Ohio State national champion. Sorry. Go ahead.
So I guess what? Eric's a black belt, right? Is that
Allegedly, yeah.
And Greg Gagne of Tiffany Stratton training fame has claimed that one night at a bar at some point in the 80s, the boys of the American Wrestling Alliance were enjoying some adult cocktails and or beverages.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric Bischoff began talking shit about how he could beat up anyone on the roster. And this somehow led to a confrontation with one half of the tag team Bad Company, who were recent signees in Joe and I's WCW remake that we gave up on.
Hell of a team.
Good team. So Eric tried to throw some of his karate kicks, and Pat Tanaka blocked every single one of them and then knocked some of Eric's teeth out of his mouth. Now, it's important to note that this story's never been corroborated by literally anyone ever.
Anyone?
But Greg has told this story on multiple platforms. And one day, my dream is to have him come on this platform and tell that story. And then Joe and I will leave so Bob and Greg can talk about politics. So, Greg, if you're watching this, and I know you might be, please DM Joe. My DMs are closed, so you can't DM me. DM Joe. Let him know when you're available to come on to recap the Pat Tanaka, Eric Bischoff story, and then discuss politics with Bob O'Neill.
Honestly, I'd like the whole routine. I'd like the brand split.
Yeah.
Like all of it. Hogan nearly going to AWA 91. The works. All of it.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
So for those of you who don't know, which hopefully is a lot of you, because honestly,
Yeah, most of
you know this. Greg Gagne claims that he pitched a brand split in WCW when he was on the creative team there for about 2 weeks, where there would be an NWA and there would be an AWA.
Factual.
I guess this would have been...
This was in 1994.
Yeah, because his big pitch was Hogan would be the AWA champion and Flair would be the NWA champion.
Yeah.
And so Greg had this whole pitch about, you're weak here, so you bring in the AWA brand, who it's important to remember that AWA had been dead for 4 years at this point, and they had totally killed any name value that brand had at that point. Yeah. And basically, Greg tells this story, and he somehow circles it around to claim that this was actually how Eric Bischoff came up with the NWO, was from Greg pitching an AWA-NWA brand split. Now, what has normally happened is Greg has told this story to whoever was hosting the show, and the host of the show has then just kind of moved on.
Of course.
If he told this story on the Late Night Grin, Joe and I would proceed to ask him about 45 logistical questions about how this brand split would have worked and what towns they were planning to run and how he envisioned the rosters looking and what the television layout would have been. Mm-hmm. And at some point, we probably would have exposed that he was completely making it up accidentally, because that wouldn't even be what we were trying to do. We would actually want to know. So again, Greg, if you ever want to come on and go in depth on your big NWA, AWA brand split, please reach out to us here at the Late Night Grin. You can email Joe at joe@latenightgrin.com, or you can email me at matt@latenightgrin.com. Both of those are true things that I just said, by the way. Yes. So yeah, Greg, let us know when you're available. We'll set it up.
Harmonies have a special gift, though. I wonder how long he could go without getting exposed,
Yeah.
He would, when he got booked for guest booker, he was supposed to be him and his dad was too poorly to go. And so Greg just showed up and had Sean Oliver book the whole thing while he asked him questions. And he explained that he was, quote, testing Sean. I'm not sure he's a completely honest guy, I'll be honest, to be clear with you. But nonetheless, Bob's an honest guy. Let's get back to some questions. Darren asks, what's it like rooting for a college football team that's already lost a game?
It sucks, man, because especially with how they lost, it's going to be 3, 4, 5 more times like that this year. Yeah. It's their own fault, too, whatever, but it sucks.
Bob, can you list the teams you think they're going to lose to?
At this point, USC, Oregon, Ohio State. That's probably it. They'll put them at 4 for the year. They don't really play
Indiana, right?
I think they play Indiana, which, depending on where that game is, maybe.
It could be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Indiana's for real yet or not. I like that coach, though.
Yeah, he's good.
I like the quarterback, too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This is from, there's a lot of numbers, but the thing is like a full stop. So
does it say pray for AEW?
No, it says ask Bob anything.
That dude rules.
What's your relationship with Osama bin Laden of Extreme Rules 2011 fame?
He got compromised to a permanent end.
Yep.
By who?
John Cena.
Yeah, John Cena.
Bobby, ask Bob anything. Hashtag ask Bob anything.
What's up, Oracle?
Worse, the New York Football Giants or the Carolina Panthers?
Oh, man. I think the Panthers, the Giants have a good defense at least, but Bryce Young looks cooked, man.
He's terrible.
They should start Andy Dalton.
They probably should.
Making up names now, dude. Come on. Sam. Hi, Bob. How did you get into wrestling media? Finally, someone turns the tables on him. Come on.
Joe had me and Jack Crosby on for a draft, and then that eventually turned into a weekly segment on The Distraction, and now we're here.
Wow.
Joe got me into wrestling media too. That's
yeah.
Why do we like him?
I think he's pretty cool. I don't know. Hot take, I know. You should be on this channel more, I think. The Holbert guy.
Yeah. Kind of overexposed, honestly.
Orange Cassidy 2023.
This fucking guy again. Good God.
Well, I mean, he can be OC in 2023, but what you don't want him to become is like The Miz and like.
I love the idea. I love the idea of someone tuning in to the Holbert House show every week and being like, "When is Oracle going to host this son of a bitch?" All right, Andrew asks, I wonder if you can do this. Top 10 current NXT wrestlers. How close can you get, Dre? I'm willing to chip in.
Yeah, that's going to be kind of tough. I think Roxanne might be number one at the moment.
Roxanne's one. Can we do this together, Oracle? Right.
Yeah.
2, Trick Williams, right?
Yep.
3.
Obafemi.
Obafemi, yeah.
He's
No,
up
I
there.
said it wrong. Of course I did.
Obafemi,
Monty likes that guy a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually very much a bobber. Charlie Dempsey.
Charlie Dempsey's up there. Those
Javon Evans.
All ego Ethan Page.
Yeah, Javon Evans is good. Those Fraxium fellas are pretty good too.
Fraxium, Ego, Jada Parker,
Jay Parker's good.
Lola Vice, Jace Jane,
Brian
Full
Pillman.
Hen,
JC Jane.
Ricky Starks.
Yeah.
Full Hen,
Daniel Garcia.
Mia Yim, she's not down there anymore, but she had a nice little run.
Alex Shelley.
Gallows and Anderson.
Yeah. There we go.
They're like 1 and 2.
Oh, baby.
Julia.
Doing a 6-month feud with Hank and Tank for some reason.
Who the fuck
Who
is
they've already
Hank and
brought over
Tank?
clean. So they're like a young. They're actually a fun team.
Hank
They kind of
Ledger
dress
and
like
Hank Walker. Yeah, they're not bad.
they dress like Public Enemy.
Is it Hank
And,
Ledger and Hank Walker? I can't remember which way it is.
The Good Brothers are big fans of theirs, and they put them over clean because they were supposed to go back to SmackDown, but obviously that didn't happen because they moved AJ's thing back. So they're now just like doing a few with a team they've already put over for some reason. I don't know. Sean kind of gets
Spears still there?
confused. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Rich
Lexus
Holland.
King.
That's the
Yeah.
right person, right?
Mhm.
That Chase guy that wears the sweater.
Mm-hmm.
Chase. Yeah. Andre Chase.
Yeah.
There you go. We got like 20 there, dude. We did easy.
Hook.
Shout out JC Jane. JJ Williams. I've heard of him. You can buy him a coffee, you know. Bobby, which professional wrestler would you most like to see wear the hat, trademark, next year at Y'all In? Benny isn't available.
That's a good one. So it's got to be someone in AEW, obviously.
Yep.
Mercedes.
The way that you delivered that and everything about that was so aggressively perverse. It made me deeply uncomfortable. You don't know that Bob was a friend of yours.
That'll
The
probably happen,
hesitation.
honestly.
Yeah, she's done the cowboy hat deal on TV, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't worn the hat, of course. Right, we got 2 more. We got one by Super Chat, and we've got a big one to close. Darren asks, "Hey Bob, can you sing the FTR's theme?"
I mean, I can't. There's no words, but you know.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not gonna do the intro. I'm just do the middle part.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
There
There you go. That's good. Yeah, that's it. That's what we do over here. We sing it when they come out.
Same.
Yeah. It's
I'm
good
going to
stuff.
take that and I'm going to put that over that video of the guy dancing. I'm not going to do that because it's too much work, but I should.
Good job, Bob. Thank you, Andrew, for the super chat. We have a super chat from Andy. That's a wrestling question. We'll close with that. But first, we have final ask Bob anything. I'm sorry if I've missed any. I think I've got them all. AJ Styles or Kurt Angle? Also, who sells the best snacks between them? So kind of a 1-2 punch there. Start with them as wrestlers and then feel free to pivot to the snacks.
Probably AJ all time, if we're being honest. Like, I think Kurt has a higher peak as far as what I was watching in real time, but AJ just
Well,
has longevity.
We're always being honest, Bob. I just want to make it clear.
Hold
Fair.
on. Somebody send JJ so we can get that FTR video.
And yeah, the Kurt Angle chicken snacks are good as hell. They weren't. They were actually pretty bad, but it was a good bit.
He had hot sauce. Kurt Angle did for a minute.
I didn't see the hot sauce. I remember it.
It's like the best hot sauce I've ever had in my life, and the company just went out of business, and I can't get it anymore. It fucking sucks, man.
Are you kidding? It was actually good.
Oh, it fucking ruled. So, Kurt, if you're watching this,
Probably is.
bring the hot sauce back. I'm sure it was your recipe. If you want, you can just send me the recipe to matt@latenightgrin.com, and I can recreate it here. Thank you, Kurt Angle,
That'd be a good video.
former Olympic gold medalist.
No former, right? I think you
That's
don't
true.
lose.
Yeah, he's just an
Yeah.
Olympic gold. Yeah.
It is crazy. I was talking to Ibu of Wrestle Purist about this.
I've heard of him.
The biggest problem, like, I think AJ is considerably higher all time than Kurt, but Kurt's response to that could simply be, well, I spent 10 years of my adult life trying to win a gold medal and achieved it, so who gives a fuck?
Yep.
You know? I don't think he's too upset that he didn't do NWA Wild Side, is what I'm saying. I think it all worked out in the end. Good wrestlers, though. I like them both, personally. I like them both. I've never had strong opinions on that deal, as you know. All right, let's go. All right, that's it, Bobby. Wave to the people. We're going to go back to a normal setup now, mate. All right? There you
This
go.
was fun.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Great job, Bob. You know, before we came out with this, asked Bob anything, we were going to just do a wrestling show. Can you imagine how fuck we'd be? We'd be like 20 deep and we just called it, I think.
Yeah. This is
Didn't have it in it. Yeah. Andy, what 5 matches on the horizon are you guys currently anticipating the most? Great question. Right. I'm going to charge ahead here with my 1 seed, and I think Oracle's going to co-sign. It's on the horizon. It isn't booked, but we know it's coming. Gunter and CM Punk is
Yeah.
That would be my immediate response. Now I have to find 4 others. Okay, what we got coming up here?
I'm looking forward to Takeshita and Okada.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I mean, I'm very interested in how that match is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
What Okada's going to do there. I do think there's a real chance that he's going to be quite motivated for that specific match. There's also a chance he won't be.
Which is kind of part of the charm, right? It's kind of material in that way.
There's the ceiling on that match is very high. Now, the likelihood that they reach that ceiling is very questionable.
I would say one of my first answers would have been Brian and Darby.
Yeah.
But I'm more than willing to pivot to Brian and Nigel, which is a great deal of appeal to me personally. I would say Roman and Jacob, whenever we're getting that, is going to be scrumptious.
Yep.
Try to think. I'm really into the Moxley stuff, but there's not a single match that I'm like, oh my god, because him and Dragon, I don't actually love their dynamic. To be totally honest.
I'm very much anticipating seeing how he looks wrestling, but that's not really the question he's asking. But I'm very anxious to see what he's going to look like as a wrestler. That's very important. If he wrestles with some violence and doesn't just do MMA grapple fucking the whole time, then my ceiling, I keep saying that, but my ceiling on this whole storyline goes way up. Because he's been fucking awesome so far.
He has. He's been great.
I was not expecting this at all. He appears to be one of the true beasts of professional wrestling because he has channeled his energy in a productive way, which many people, including myself and many professional wrestlers, are not good at all. He has taken his real, at least what we think are real frustrations, and has turned that into an actual compelling television storyline.
Imagine that.
Very difficult to do, but it's real professional wrestling. That's the way it used to be.
Well, you like it, the way it used to be.
Other stuff I'm looking forward to. Athena and Billy Starks at Final Battle.
For sure. It's lost me a bit, but they'll get me back.
Yeah, exactly.
I wish there was a tag deal that I could. There's nothing because I can't. I think Frexing and Motor City will be good, but I don't care.
I'm trying to think of like women's matches in the Fed that would.
So was I. It's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, Roxanne Julia will be cool. I think.
Yeah.
Should be pretty good.
The main rosters, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like, honestly, like, Rhea and Tiffany would be awesome, but that's like another year or two away from
That's a
happening.
ways away. That segment on SmackDown tonight with the women, I thought was like, so.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I don't think that stuff's very good.
No.
I'm not in love with it either. It's just, it's not like, it's just not something I'm terribly interested in either. I mean, I honestly, I'll go ahead and throw this out there, even though it's not really answering the question. I'll answer this question by saying I actually would want to see Roman Cody 3. I think they've kind of.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree completely.
Fair.
Yep.
I will say that, thinking about Survivor Series, we've the mids match makes sense to do War Games, whatever. I don't think they should do women's War Games. They will. They'll throw something together. My idea, even though it's repetitive and people can roll their eyes or whatever at it, and obviously they're going to do the title match at Bad Blood now, and so it wouldn't be a good idea. But my idea for Survivor Series would be like to have Rhea and Liv finally in their feud in like a last woman standing match,
Mm-hmm.
and then have Nia against Bayley again, and then have Tiffy cash in and win the title at Survivor Series, and just have two big endings to like the women's stuff right there instead of doing a War Games match. Even though it's repetitive and it would drag this shit out another 2 months, I would rather see that than just a thrown together War Games match. But that's just
I would do. You know what I would pitch? I think a smart thing to do to navigate this, because I do understand, like, it is kind of brutal that, through no fault of their own, we're not going to be able to do War Games if they didn't do it, right? Because it wouldn't be through their own fault. They're not been put in an angle to do so. Obviously, wrestling isn't real, apparently. But wouldn't it be good if they got into a rhythm of, like, it rotates and, you do like a 10-man Survivor Series tag, traditional tag, and then you do a War Games. Rather than booking the show of War Games, you could do two. That would be nice, right? You could do like a Survivor Series match, Series.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I'm with
I
that.
love those matches.
Yeah, I'm with that for sure.
And in some ways, I think Survivor Series matches are superior to War Games in a whole lot of ways.
Especially in the WWE setting, yes.
Yeah.
That's because that's their match.
Modern War Games sucks.
I've got better accepted
I
for what
liked
it
the
is.
matches last year. But they aren't War Games matches. They're
exactly
cage matches. I mean, like, it's semantics and the argument's kind of silly, but it's just like, to me, there hasn't been an actual good War Games match in 30 years. Literally 30 years, almost to the day.
The craziest one, people always forget this, and rightly so. By imploring, I go back and revisit it. The first AEW Blood and Guts match has genuine amounts of War Games, but unfortunately, when Chris Jericho comes in, that match.
Yes, I agree.
Because Chris, look, we all give Jericho shit, and rightly so, but like, he was somewhere else that night. Remember, he was like talking to Aubrey through the cage the whole time.
He's freaking out about the the placement,
big bump,
of the match and stuff.
It killed the match, dude.
FTR Santana Ortiz segment of that match is fucking awesome.
I don't think since then they've actually come as close. Now, the Eddie one had portions that were War Games-esque, but not really. The weakest War Games match they've done is the first one because of how bad the second half is. But I'm telling you guys, go back and rewatch before it becomes the match beyond. They're close. They almost got there. The FTR. We need to get FTR.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah. I liked the Randy one a lot last year, even though it wasn't War Games. It was very triumphant, I thought.
It was very fun. The women's match was a lot of fun last year, I thought.
2019 Women's War Games is very fun.
Yes, it was.
Great.
The Kevin Owens War Games is very fun, I think.
Yep.
Same year, 2019.
2019. Good show. So, there's but I will say, to be fair, we just did that whole roundabout way. I think we are anticipating Oracle, the Bloodline one, right? Just because it's so unique. It's kind of quirky.
I just like the idea of, I tweeted it out, like Roman,
Usos,
Sammy, and then maybe Cody as a fifth man against. Honestly, if they do Roman, Usos, Sammy, and Cody versus Solo, Gorillas of Destiny, Jacob, and Dwayne.
That's
making
box
this
office.
That's a crazy
Dwayne
match.
working a Vancouver show. If this was like I don't know.
Yeah, someone more sexy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Dwayne's working it.
I don't think so either.
That means Hikuleo is, and that makes that heel team
Yeah. Yeah.
I like Solo, and I think Tama's
Fatu's got a lot of work to do in that one.
Jacobs, one man wrecking crew in that.
Hey, Tama Tonga's a good worker, but he
is, and he's been good in this run. But it's War Games, right?
Yeah.
So there's
a couple. I actually am interested in. Even though it's
not going to be very good, but
the build I think will be awesome.
Yeah,
I think the match is probably going to be excruciating. To be honest,
but the build will be. I think the build will legitimately be incredible. But the actual match is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think on the. I wish I had a better answer for Mariah and Mercedes on the AEW side of things, but I don't have one. We don't really know where they're going. I mean, she's going to WrestleMania, which is going to be fun.
That'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully this thing with Mina has some meat on the bone, and they do some actual, because she's been. They just didn't have a follow up, man. It's frustrating, and she's not over enough
to just float around.
If she was, if she was really over and the crowd was super into her, then it would have been fine. But it's instead what it's done is it's kind of exposed her a little bit. And we kind of got a glimpse of that at that Cardiff show when she got little reaction when she attacked Tony. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'm frustrated, but
she's
it's not her fault, to be clear.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
She's still got a very high ceiling, and she's a fucking awesome worker, wrestler. I don't know what a worker is, but she's a fucking awesome wrestler.
Big OG.
Yeah.
Oh, Good Brothers vs. Hank and Tank, right? The rematch.
Yeah.
The trilogy, I think. I think that's the rubber match, actually. Big business.
Are you looking forward to Jamie Hayter and Saraya Oracle?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Jamie Hayter looks fucking awesome, doesn't she?
She looks like a genuine like star, like just
man. I like this. Whatever I don't know the right way to describe it. It's almost like she's doing like a 70s type vibe, but not like a stereotypical. Just like that's kind of the fashion she's going for.
Mm-hmm.
She looked awesome on Rampage tonight.
This is Rampage, baby.
Yeah.
This is Rampage.
Which, if you're a Late Night Grin subscriber, Late Night Grin Gold subscriber, you can watch Joe and I watch that show.
Not really.
We don't really talk about it very much, but
we got into beef and Roddy.
We did, yes.
Yeah, every other match is not really.
I wish Roddy was in a program with anyone other than Hook on Earth.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Very, very sad. All right, I guess we've done it. That's the end of the show, I reckon, isn't it?
I've got a plug that I'm going to do in a minute.
Let's do some plugs. Go on, Matt.
You guys go, because I got an email from JJ that I've got to upload here.
Okay. Oracle, anything to plug? Any final words?
So you can stop me right now, Joe, and disagree, but I'm just going to say it right now without telling you. I'm gonna put you, unless okay. Well, actually, I can't do that. What do you got going on next Tuesday night?
What date? Give me a date on this, Oracle. I'm sorry. The 17th or the 24th?
That would be the 17th.
17th, unfortunately, I have a booking. I was about to announce it.
What about
the 24th on the other hand? Well, it depends when we're doing on. When are we doing on? That's the problem. We're calling things on the fly. Bob?
What's up?
Either the 24th or the 1st, whichever one is not on Anderson Green Grappler will host. You know what, honestly, we'll probably do the 24th, Oracle, because then it's within the month and we're fulfilling our booking, our contractual agreements.
So, at 9 p.m. Eastern on September 24th.
Yes.
It will be on Late Night Grin Gold. The first reinstallment of Grindication, where we will be watching along with any guests that would like to join us, Joe and myself.
Actual.
The September 1997 Worldwide,
Oh, baby.
which of course is the birth month of one Joey Bing Bong.
Actual.
That will be 9 p.m. Eastern, September 24th.
Yes, sir.
At 5 p.m. Eastern, September 29th. Is that correct, Joe?
That's correct. Oracle.
5 p.m. Eastern, September 29th. The School of Wrestling, presented by the Oracle of Wrestling, with my co-host and student, Joey Bing Bong.
Yep.
We'll be beginning the 4-month-long series to take us through the remainder of 2024, the obscurities of the Ruthless Aggression era. We will cover things like the Bob Holly versus JBL program in the fall of 2004, the Tonka matches on SmackDown 2006, the unheralded tag team of Jamie Noble and Kid Cash, known as the Pitbulls, on SmackDown in 2006. Many unique eccentricities of the Ruthless Aggression era and the obscurities of the Ruthless Aggression era will be covered beginning on September 29th, Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern.
You can access that. It used to be better tier, LNG Gold. Speaking of that tier, I do have some business to handle. Firstly, this Sunday, Anarchy Rules 99 Grin Along. Myself, Bobby, Manny, Novi, and Ibu of Wrestle Purists. And watching that one this Sunday. I don't think I'm going to be doing the WCW show, but stay tuned. That may change. I may just get bored. Monday, my match Monday. Tuesday, here's the announcement, Oracle. So Full Sail Behind will kick off for LNG Gold members on Wednesday night after Dynamite. Myself and Alex are going to be reviewing a block of September 2014 TV. But on Tuesday, free on this very channel, we're actually going to be doing an NXT TakeOver Fatal 4-Way Grin Along in order to kind of set the tone. Because then we can accompany the takeovers with the TV, right? And they're only like 1 a quarter. And the news in that regard, I've booked Manny the Hooper. I've booked Novi, but I've also booked first appearance in a while on the Late Night Grin channel, the great, formidable Charlie of Great Britain and Wrestle Purists are going to be joining us to watch some NXT this Tuesday night. It'll be a little bit earlier slot, but that'll be Tuesday, and then Wednesday we'll have Full Sail Behind after Dynamite.
Oh, wait. Did you just say first appearance on this channel?
No, first appearance in a while, I said. Like,
okay, sorry.
I don't think Chuck's been on since July, I don't think.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Yeah, Fatal 4-Way takeover. So we've got a double header in that regard.
When is that?
That is Tuesday, mate. Tuesday afternoon. Tuesday evening.
What time?
Maybe like 3, 4 Eastern.
Okay, never mind. I'll be at work.
Yeah, because I have to do something Wednesday, so the School of Wrestling wouldn't work for me. All right. Other than that, I think we have. Oh, and also next Friday, the flagship is a WWF one night only Grin Along. Back in the olden days when Shawn and Bulldog and Owen and Vader.
Oh, cool.
Quirky pay-per-view. Yeah. That one kind of popped me because that's one that I don't think anyone knows that off by heart. You know? That'll be a fun page. That'll be next Friday's flagship free, folks. So.
All right, I've got a big plug to do, which will be.
Okay, do you want to? What about Bob though?
Way too long.
What about Bob though? Yeah.
Well, let me play this video first, and then we'll let Bob do his plug. So this is from JJ.
Is this going to get kicked off YouTube though, or is this like copyright free of?
I don't know, but we've played that song behind the Dax video on this channel, so.
Oh, it's the FTR thing. That was
yeah.
There you go. That's good. Yeah, that's what we do over here. We sing it when they come out.
Oh, God bless. That's perfect. Thank you, JJ.
Great.
Thank you, JJ. Beautiful. Bobby, any final words, any plugs, any promotions?
Yeah, Anarchy Rules Grin Along this Sunday. I will be here next Friday for watching WWF One Night Only. Probably we'll jump on for Grindication too. That sounds fun. And yeah, I mean, besides that, we'll see.
Beautiful.
Oh, and I just retweeted Liz's friend's Kickstarter. So that's my last retweet. If you want to go check that out for the game Tax Evasion.
Good call. Go retweet that.
And smash the like button.
Yep.
Confirm shoot. Any final words, brother?
Okay, so you may remember that when Joe announced the late night Grin Gold subscription service, that he mentioned that he and I would be playing TEW on this channel. And the thing about that is Joe lied, because we're not going to do that yet. But we are going to stick that in our back pocket.
We're definitely going to do it, just not yet.
Yeah, it's going to happen at some point. But instead, what Joe and I have decided to do is go deep into our bag of being complete and utter fucking nerds. And you may recall that for a while we did a show called WCW Remade, where we were rebooking 1991 World Championship Wrestling. Or was it 1992 World Championship?
1992. With Bret Hart. With Bret
Bret
the
Hart.
Hitman Hart.
So, recently on Twitter, I've got a couple people I follow who do things that are basically, it's like shadow management of sports teams. And basically what that involves is like when there's a draft, they draft their team, and there's no actual games involved in this. They're kind of just managing a roster. And this is a whole league of guys, and they've got a whole league, and they're each managing a team, even though there's no games or anything. It's fucking incredible. And I've been thinking for a while, how can we incorporate this into professional wrestling? Of course I have. And I told Joe about this a couple weeks ago, and I had absolutely no idea how this would work. And within the last couple days, I've come up with a concept that is honestly fucking insane, but I believe Joe and I can produce some absolutely ridiculous content out of this. Yes. So what we're going to do is we are going to create our Shadow Ring of Honor. Now, as you know, Ring of Honor currently exists as like a kind of developmental territory for AEW. But I think it's safe to say that it's really not what any of us would want Ring of Honor to be. And so what Joe and I are going to do is we're going to create what we would want Ring of Honor to be. Now, this is going to age hilariously because probably in a couple months, Ring of Honor will get a television deal, and then it's going to ruin this entire thing because it's just going to exist on TV and it won't be fun for us anymore. But without going into full, because we'll flesh all this out whenever we start doing it. But the concept here is basically once a week, Joe and I are going to come on this channel. Oh, I don't know what fucking tier it is because that's Joe's business. What tier is it, Joe?
It's Grin Circle tier, man.
Okay. And we're going to book a week of Ring of Honor television.
We sure are.
Here's where the game is played, and this is why it's called a shadow promotion.
Here's where the game is played.
We're going to be booking basically within the confines of real life. And the rules that we're going to have to abide by is if a wrestler has a match on Dynamite, Collision, or Rampage, and possibly Shockwave at some point, we cannot book them on a Ring of Honor television show. So what you're going to get to see is Joe and I get aggressively mad when Tony Khan books some random match on Rampage and fucks up our storyline that we have working on our weekly TV show. We're also going to use wrestlers who maybe are not under AEW contract, but if they get signed by the World Wrestling Federation, then we can't use them anymore. If a wrestler gets hurt in real life, we can't use them anymore. So now as far as what the rules are and what the point of this is, we have no answers to that yet. But basically, it's going to be Joe and I having a booking meeting once a week, booking a 90-minute TV show. So this is not going to, I want to be clear, this is not going to be a show where you're going to be sitting here listening to us ramble on for 2 hours. We're going to be this will be probably a 45-minute show once a week, give or take.
Well,
We're kind of ridiculous, so you never know. And our first show, which will be probably sometime this month, we don't know yet, will be when we kind of lay all the rules out, figure out exactly how this works. I'm sure we'll take some feedback from the chat as far as any ideas of how we want this to work. Other things involving the chat, it can be, hey, you guys should check this wrestler out and maybe use them, and we can go check some footage out and see. We probably won't do it because we're assholes, but we'll at least look. So yeah, it's just going to be us laying out some weekly TV and trying to build a continuity and do some decent storylines, while being fucked by Tony Khan repeatedly when he keeps booking our wrestlers that we're trying to do stuff with. So yeah, I have no idea if this is going to be good. It's popped Joe and I considerably. I pitched this to Joe, and he seemed to get progressively more excited about it over the course of about 2 hours, to the point that I was getting wrestlers in all caps, and I believe he's laying out world championship storylines and things of that nature. We're already trying to come up with tag teams. We're going to try to do our best to not go too much into doing this not on the show, because that kind of defeats the purpose if we come in here. We're just going to book all the stuff we talked about already. So yeah, I have no idea if this is going to be good content. Hopefully you guys like it, the 9 of you who will watch this. But it's going to pop Joe and I, so I guess that's all that really matters. So yeah, that'll be my big thing here on Late Night Grin Gold, is Shadow Ring of Honor. And then when we just decide to quit doing that within 6 weeks, then we'll look into the TDW thing.
Yeah, exactly. So the first episode will, as Matt said, we'll kind of map everything out, and we're also going to put together a roster.
Yeah.
And obviously this roster will be projected, because for all we know, someone might get pushed on AEW TV. As you can imagine, I did my research. There are a lot of wrestlers in AEW that are not on TV very often. I don't know if anyone's noticed. So this, I think, will be fun. It may not be fun, and we will adjust accordingly. But we're pretty hopeful. I have some ideas up my sleeve. And I think this could be very funny when, in a month, if he books a match like B from Roderick Strong, we might get quite mad about it. Right?
Yeah,
so,
you'll probably see some funny quote tweets on the timeline from the two of us. I mean, I think WCW Remade was pretty fun. And this will be a little bit different because we'll probably get into the weeds a little bit more, because there we were kind of doing big picture. This is going to be like we're gonna get in the weeds of booking 90 minutes of TV once a week, including like segment length.
You're going to be policed, and you know that, right?
Yeah, we're fucking lunatics.
Dude, I ain't run no charity with Ring of Honor. Oracle knows I run my business for Oracle. We're not doing it, bro.
I'm going to spend half my time figuring out what buildings we're running every week based on where AEW is running that week. So we're not using Kip Sabian. I'm saying that now. No, this ain't a motherfucking game, man.
No, it's not. Literally,
we don't play, man. This is going to be some real motherfucking wrestling. You won't be able to see it.
No. We're going to describe it though.
Yeah.
We're going to bring in a special guest every week to be our agent. We're going to lay the matches out for us.
Yeah, we definitely won't do that because we just get mad and kick them off the show halfway through.
Up first will be Maxwell Jacob Freeman. Former Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion.
It's true.
All right. That sums it all up. We've gone long again, haven't we? Fuck. Getting old, man. Can't keep doing this, you know?
Yeah.
It's been a really fun show, hasn't it? Been fun.
It has been, yeah.
All right. Thank you for asking all those questions to Bob. Thank you, Bob, for being such a graceful, classy subject matter. Thank you to Confirm Shoot for preparing a PowerPoint. Thank you to the Oracle of Wrestling for talking about professional wrestling.
Thank you for being you, Oracle. We love you around here.
Thank you.
This was fun, boys. We haven't been together as a group in a long time.
I know. Yeah, I don't think we can do it much more, to be honest.
I mean, we don't really like each other very much anymore. I think we did a good job of hiding that.
Yeah.
But,
it was the kind of reunion where you go, probably best as a one-off, We have to get the energy of the other guys in. We need Chris on the WWF shows. We need the AEW lineup soon is going to be shooting, the new signees, I
Mhm.
think. And Bob, maybe.
Just wait till I stop showing up. I'll be there
So
for
I was-
Maple Leaf Pro weekends.
Oh my God, Maple Leaf Pro previews. Oh,
Yeah.
that bit is almost too good to ignore. Oh, I love it. All right, folks, this has been the Late Night Grin 126.
26.
We will see you, LNG Gold members. It used to be better tier.
Guns up.
This Sunday, Anarchy Rules. He will be joining us. It's going to be a great time. He's very funny. Very funny.
Goddamn. Make that the thumbnail for this episode.
Absolutely not. Have a great night, day, weekend. We'll see you on Sunday. And shout out Solo Sikoa.
SVG at Watkins Glen this weekend. It's gonna sweep them both.
Spot on. What else was I gonna do? I had something else up my sleeve. With the White Six, shout out to them. The Good Brothers.
Ricky Starks.
Yeah. Ricky
Shadow
Starks.
Ring of Honor champion.
I'm not even playing with that. I'm not even doing that.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna leave it. Shout out Ricky Starks. Daniel Garcia.
Yeah,
Maxwell Jacob Friedman, right, Oracle?
Mm-hmm.
good wrestler.
Sure.
Takuma, Masawa, Hayabusa, Roderick Strong, and Beef. Have a
Carl
great
Anderson.
one. The Machine Gun, that one. Does it look like a shotgun? That one.
You think that's gonna be a problem? Multiple
Guns?
machine guns. He should shut that down, honestly.
Fucking right. You should.
Mhm.
Shouldn't let this OTC shit happen. I'll tell you that much for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great night, everyone. Enjoy this outro. Goodbye.